minutes to intro. Minute to intro. $30 till intro. Starting intro now. $20 till go. $10 till go. Three, two, one, go.
Welcome back to the Roll Ball in Roswell, New Mexico. It's time for Hobbs Eagle Football live on Core 95.7, also on YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com. Ty Friend along with Coach Brian Coltrane as the Hobbs Eagles take on the Goddard Rockets. Eagles coming with a 3-1 record. The Rockets at 3-0. They're the number one team in the 5A. And, of course, Coach Coltrane, look at the Hobbs Eagles with that big win last week, 46-0, of course. Starting to move themselves up on the chart just a bit. They were at 8th in the Max Preps poll. Well, who knows, if they win tonight, we might move them into the top 5.
Good boy, they're going to have a good one tonight. Goddard coming in undefeated. And this is a team, just watching the warm-ups and looking at these things, they have some hosses on that side, and there's a reason they got all those running yards this year.
Yeah, of course, that big win with the Lee County Battle last week, 46-0, the final in that contest. Eagles with 337 yards in that game, 187 for the Wildcats. Who would have thought that they would have shut them out with such a big score?
You know, I think that I kind of went into the game thinking that we were going to really come into our own. I wasn't expecting a victory like that, especially against the number one ranked team. So I think that kind of shakes off that whole mystique with somebody being number one, and we come into this game with a lot of confidence. You know, it's you build on that, especially being a rivalry game and one that you've lost recently.
That was going all the way back to 1982, the last time that the Eagles had at least 3 shutouts in a season. Back in 82, there were 6 shutouts that year, but pretty impressive against a team that beat them last year by a few points at Watson Stadium.
Yeah, and you know, we looked at that, and I still remember that the special teams were so critical in that game, and it cost us so much that it really made a big difference. And that could have been a difference maker in the record in the season I think they've got those things shored up. They've got those things fixed, and you're seeing an Eagles team that's really clicking in all cylinders.
They've outscored their 4 opponents so far, 95-27 for the defense. In that game against Lovington, Kenyon Singleton, 8 tackles. Blake Hensley, 8 tackles as well. Those are some names we keep hearing back week after week.
Oh, yeah, great names to hear, too. And I tell you what, there's nothing like having the balance that we have right now. You don't know who is going to be the one that's going to lead us in rushing, who's going to lead us in receiving. But I tell you what, you know who's going to lead us in passing yards. And I tell you what, once we've solidified that quarterback position, it's just been absolutely wonderful to watch because Graham's done a great job back there.
Yeah, Colton 10 of 16 for 119 yards in the air out of the 144 the Eagles got in the passing game, threw for 2 touchdowns in the game as well. And lots of guys getting involved in the rushing attack too, Coach. 233 the total there. It's kind of a running back by committee situation. Gianni Royal, 3 touchdowns in that game against Lovington, 74 yards on the ground. Diego Baeza, 59, and Argot, 51. So it's kind of a mix and match there. You really don't have to worry that there's some other guy that will come on the field if somebody gets injured or they need to get somebody a rest. There's a lot of different pieces of the puzzle in the backfield.
And the nice thing about that is when you have everything clicking and you have everything going right, you have all these different options too. You like to have somebody there for injury, but when you have somebody there, it's a threat, and then you don't go to them, the next person's a threat, and the next person's a threat. Defense doesn't know what to do.
Now, in years past, even recently, Coach, it seemed like we had a lot more receiver combinations to go with, but the running back situation is a lot better than it has been in terms of guys to go to. But let's look at the receivers from that game last week. Several guys getting multiple catches. Caden Trevino, 3 for 46, including a touchdown. Ethan Van Landingham had a couple of catches for 41 yards and a touchdown. Those were the only 2 that scored passing TDs. Diego Baez had 3 catches for 32. Moore picked up 1 for 25, and a couple other guys on the numbers as well. But 144 yards seems to be a little bit more balanced this year in terms of the offense. 233 in the rush and 144 in the pass.
Yeah, and you know, you want to have more ground yards in many cases. But if a team's going to bring extra people in the box, you got to be able to go over top. You got to be able to throw it, and we're able to do so. And I think right now we're just have that perfect, nice little thing where it's just you don't know what we're going to do, and it's beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Eagles have 1,269 yards through the 4 games, averaging 317 a contest, 558 in the pass, and 711 in the rush. The rushers, a lot of guys to talk about. Baeza has 216 yards on the ground, averaging about 7.2 a pop. Gianni Royal with 184 yards in 4 games. He's averaging about 4.8 a carry. Colton Graham also with 150 yards, 3.8. So those 3 guys really doing much of the rushing chores. A couple other ones in there. Corbin Thompson, who's going to be out for his 3rd game, unfortunately has the hand injury. Hasn't recovered from that yet. And love to see him back on the roster too.
And I think that'll make a big difference as well. You know, he adds a dimension, not just on the ground. You know, we're having solid all around. He's got a great set of hands on him too. He can make the Colton Graham's job a little easier, running a lot of those little short routes and getting some of those yards after catch yards that are so precious in football.
3 guys over 100 yards in receptions so far. Caden Trevino with 113, Van Landingham 110, and Thompson, who will not play tonight, at 101. So nice to have several different receivers in the 100-plus range, and there's a bunch of other guys in the 50s and 60s too. So there are still threats out there, even though we think the running backs tend to have a little bit more balance in terms of who they got to offer versus the receivers this year. Kind of a little switch in what we've seen. But the team they're playing tonight, you better be ready for the running game. Goddard is potent out there. They open up the season 24-7 against Carlsbad, 246 yards on the ground in that game.
And they are an absolute huge load. I was watching their skills players warm up. Their linemen weren't even on the field, and they were bigger than a lot of our linemen were. They have a lot of size, both in the skills positions and up front. They are going to be a juggernaut tonight, and we're going to have to find some way to keep them contained. And I watched our defense running contained drills right before the start of the game. You and I were talking about that, and everything was keeping everything from getting to the sidelines and then creating a nice big pile in the middle where it's hard to run through.
Yeah, we've been talking about on our team, J.R.A. Royal, of course, a very important part of the team in terms of the backfield. But they got a kid named Jabin Morales, another J kid, who's been doing a lot of damage for this Rocket team. Very quick, comes out of the backfield. He continues to rack up the touchdowns game after game. He ran back a 2-point conversion last week against El Paso Austin, which you can do in Texas. They were playing in El Paso. So he scored that. He had caught a 61-yard pass for a touchdown, an 85-yard punt return. This is all in just the one game last week. They beat El Paso Austin 36-14. Every game that he's been in, he's been averaging about 2 to 3 touchdowns a contest. Against Deming, they won 49-6, a 10-yard touchdown run, a 39-yard touchdown run, a 24-yard touchdown run, and another one for 33 yards, one after the other. So they got to watch him carefully.
And this is a kid that can run outside. He can run inside. He can take it anywhere. I hear he fills the water bottles on the sidelines and washes dishes after the game. He just does everything you need him to do.
Now, Goddard, again, they've won all 3 of their games, 24-7 Carlsbad, 49-6 Deming, and 36-14 last week. Their first game was canceled due to COVID against Rio Rancho. That would have been a nice test for them to start the season. So right now sitting at 3-0, which is a very big record at this point in time. They've outscored their opponents 109-27.
Yeah, they are offensively have been very solid, but they really haven't played, anybody that I think is just a top-notch squad to test them. I think we're probably their biggest test right now up to date. And El Paso Austin, no shade throwing that way, but they are not an El Paso powerhouse school. And, they do have athletes that come through there from time to time, but they've not been a perennial powerhouse for sure.
Should say, though, Carlsbad is a tough team. They did beat them by 17. Carlsbad had just beaten Artesia the week before. I think it was 41-6, and then Goddard beats them by 17. So, again, that's probably a good win there. Carlsbad kind of those up-and-down teams that we've seen year after year. Last time these two teams played, Hobbs and Goddard, going back to 2015. Hobbs won that one 46-14. Hobbs racking up 523 yards in that game, so completely devastating the Rockets. Lots of different guys involved. The quarterback, Isaac Amaya, 305 yards in the air. Devin Beard caught 9 passes for 143 yards as a receiver. Jeremy Padilla, the running back, 133 yards rushing. Zach Reber on defense, 10 tackles, and there was 3 Goddard turnovers. So that was the last time they played 6 years ago.
That really means nothing tonight. I mean, yeah, it's great to talk about history, but you got to strap it up and play it tonight.
National Anthem starting here at the Wool Bowl. We'll take a 90-second break and come back live with more Hobbs Eagle football, the pregame show on Cool and YouTube.
You're clear. One minute. Ready? $15. $5, 3, 2, 1, go.
We're back live in Roswell. Ty Friend, Coach Brian Coltrane with you tonight as the Hobbs Eagles get ready to take on the Goddard Rockets. Been about 6 years since these two teams have met. This year, the Goddard Rockets are playing in the district with Roswell and Artesia. That was last year's district, I should say. This year, it's going to be Artesia and Alamogordo, so a little bit of changes made. Last year, all three teams in their district were 1-1, Goddard, Roswell, and Artesia. The Rockets finished 2-2 on the season. Their win over Lovington was a big one. That was the only Wildcats loss last year, 50-0. Goddard beat them in that one. But, of course, the season, not really a full season as we're used to. But still, very potent team. Kind of some heated blood between the Hobbs program and Coach White with Goddard. He used to be an assistant with the varsity at the Hobbs Eagles. He took over the Goddard squad, and that's one of his big missions is to beat Hobbs year after year. And some people wonder if maybe that's one reason why that we haven't had all the games the last few years, that maybe a little bit too much heated blood between these two teams.
I don't know about that. I don't think that the powers that be would really be thinking along those lines, but maybe they are. I tell you this, though. When you play against a team that you used to coach, you want that game. All the games when I had to play against a former school that I coached on, on any other night I'd root for them. But, boy, when I played them, I wanted to stick it to them and stick it to them bad.
Of course, the run defense is going to be there. There's no question that Goddard's going to keep it on the ground quite a bit. They love to control the clock, run that clock as much as they need to. But the thing is, you got to punch it in, and that's something that has to be taken care of because Hobbs is a good team in terms of coming back if they need to. Should mention that game against El Paso Austin this past week, the Goddard Rockets had 2 blocked field goals and missed a PAT, so their special teams kind of questionable. We've had some issues, too, in terms of our kick returns and punt returns. We had some fumbles that have given the ball back to the other team.
And that's certainly something you do not want to do in a game like this. You turnovers are going to be a huge factor in this thing, and I think that the first team that can score off of somebody else's turnover is going to have a huge advantage the rest of the game. And I think this is going to be a game where there's going to be huge swings of emotion and huge swings of just who's got the confidence going, and you're just going to have to weather the storm sometimes. Keep your head up until you start to have the luck come on your side.
You mentioned weather, pretty nice skies right now, pretty blue, and it's of course we already had the sunset here. The lights are on at Wool Bowl, but the wind has been a factor. Yeah. Probably 30+ mile per hour winds.
It seems to be coming out of the north, which should cool things off if it is. But we do get it just kicks up and then stops and kicks up and stops. And the way the stadium is set, it kind of whips through here. It kind of creates like a wind tunnel effect, and it really can affect your throwing.
Yeah, and the teams that we're going to see tonight, Hobbs is kind of cut down the throwing just a little bit. Goddard is not a team to throw the football very often. We should mention, though, that against Deming, they did have a 28-yard pass for a touchdown to Diego Nunez, and then a 17-yarder to him as well. So he had 2 touchdowns off the passing game just in that victory against Deming by 43 points. So they will throw the ball when need be. We mentioned also Javen Morales caught a big one against El Paso Austin, a 67-yarder just last week. So there's guys who can get out down the field and get those pass receptions. It is also homecoming for Goddard. As a coach, you've coached several places in your past. Is that a blessing, a plus, minus? What is it in your kids?
That is a year-to-year thing. I can remember where you're a huge underdog and everybody gets up for homecoming and you play way over your heads. And I can remember being 73-point favorites against Anthony and having our homecoming and a Disney celebration with Kermit the Frog coming to town with it. And I can remember us losing to a team that we were favored by 70 to win.
Yeah, that's definitely something you got to take into consideration. Your opponent, what kind of situation's going on. I know the COVID pandemic, that's out in the back of everybody's mind. How many athletes we have out in the field week after week. So lots of different questions come up. And, again, is it kind of a slap in the face if you are scheduled as the homecoming opponent year after year?
Yeah, it kind of irks me. I never want to be scheduled for homecoming. And that reason is twofold. Is usually you schedule somebody for homecoming that you don't think you can beat and you want to try, or you schedule somebody for homecoming that you're like, yeah, this is going to be the easiest game on the schedule. And if Goddard thinks that we're going to be the easiest game on the schedule, I think they've got another thing coming.
We're going to take a last 30-second break. Hobbs versus Goddard coming up next on Cool 95.7 and on YouTube. Stay with us. Kickoff underway next.
You're clear.
10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Back live here at the Wool Bowl. The kickoff for the Rockets going to roll deep into the right corner of the end zone, so it will be an automatic touchback. Eagles had no opportunity to return that one. About 5 yards into the end zone that time, is just waving at it, was Diego Baeza. So the Eagles will start first from their 20-yard line on the automatic.
What I love to see on that, though, both teams really getting after it. You saw a lot of powder blue jerseys knocked to the ground. I think the Eagles are ready to bring a hammer tonight.
Referees were getting ready to set it down at the 25, and then one of them, the umpire, realized I needed to go back 5, so that's where the Eagles will be in the middle of the football field. Hobbs wearing their white uniforms. There's very nice to try to read gold numbers on there. We've had some funny times with that. Powder blue for the Goddard Rockets. Ready for our first play of the ball game. Colton Graham in shotgun, trips left, receiver right. He's going to hold with the ball up to Royal, up to the right side to the 25, and dragging a pile with him. And that's going to be about a 4-yard pickup at the rugby scrum on top of Royal. We should see a lot of interchanging of running backs in this ball game, as they first rush was for 4 yards.
Just wait.
Hobbs Eagles looking to the sideline now to get the next play call. So second, actually give him more. They said they pushed the pile further than what it looked like on that one. Going to give him 7 on the carry. And that was actually Baeza on that first handoff. And second down and 3 now from the 27. Trips left, twins right. Shotgun for Graham by himself in the backfield. 3-step drop back at the 20. He's going to throw the out route. It's caught at the 35, 40, 45. Went to beat 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and the touchdown.
That's the way you want to come out right off the bat. Eagles coming down and getting a quick 6.
So go with the touchdown for the Eagles. That's Caden Trevino on the catch. And it's going to be about, let's check our numbers here, start at the 26. So that's going to be 74 yards for Caden Trevino off the pass from Graham.
And that absolutely has to stun Goddard. And they got a choice to make right now. They can either step up and put up, or they're going to end up getting rolled tonight, because that is a quick stab in the dagger right there into the heart.
Nice pass, and then a breakaway down the far right sideline for Trevino off of Graham's throw as we wait for the PAT from Baeza. The kick is up, and the kick is just inside the left upright good. So not even 1 minute into this ball game on the road, the Hobbs Eagles up 7-0. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
You're clear. $30. $15. Three, two, one, go.
A 73-yard touchdown pass from Colton Graham to Caden Trevino, and your Eagles up 7-0 as they're ready for a kickoff here back at the Wool Bowl in Roswell. Setting up on the left hash for the Eagles is Brian Baeza. So the Rockets getting stunned early in this homecoming affair. As we wait for the kickoff, Baeza trying to get his line set up, and here we go. And the kickoff will be a low one. It goes towards the near sideline, out of bounds at the 21. That will be a penalty marker, and that could be a decision for the Rockets to take it at the 35 or take a 5-yard penalty and a re-kick.
Yeah, go ahead and take it at the 35. You know you're going to get good field position. Take the sure thing.
As the ball will be set at the 35, as they will decide to take it there. Coach White just tells the official. We have an echo effect back at the station. Tiffany, if you could help us out with that, please. Ball will be marked at the 35 in the middle of the field as the Rockets will head back up to the line of scrimmage. Their first offensive possession, trailing 7-0. Go at the wishbone formation now as Noah Reese is the quarterback underneath the center. 5 in the front box for the Hobbs Eagle defense, and a man on the left side jumps. They don't call it. Head off around the right into the 35 on the right hash. And a big pileup at the line of scrimmage. Probably some forward progress, but maybe about a yard, and that's about it. The running back is taken all the way to the backfield that time, as getting in there quickly was James Moore, the safety.
And you know what? I got to give more credit. He was in the right position at the right time, but you are not going to be able to arm tackle like that all night. He got away with one because all he did was grab Jersey. He didn't stick his helmet into him, and when he gets a bigger back, he's going to end up paying for that.
That was John Silva, the sophomore that time, that gets the 2 yards. They give him an extension on that one. Looked like he was hit hard at the line of scrimmage, but he's able to get forward for 2. Ball be at the 37-yard line on that right hash. 2nd down and 8 for the Rockets. They'll send a receiver left. Nobody on the right side. As going back to shotgun now is Reese, and there's going to be a change in formation. Actually, a timeout. Coach White burning an early one, and he's pointing out to his team pretty irate at this point. I guess they had the wrong formation set up there.
I guess so. And this is the kind of things that happen sometimes on homecoming. Your focus is not there during the week, and then you hit game time, and all of a sudden you're not doing the right things. You're seeing people on the sidelines right now. Hey, offense, you're supposed to be in the huddle. They're having to gather people and make them do what they're supposed to do, and what they probably do on a normal Friday night. And sometimes you're just not into it mentally, and it takes you a little bit to get going. This may be what's happening to Goddard.
2nd down and 8 now from the 37-yard line. Hobbs up 7-0 after the 73-yard touchdown pass from Trevino from Graham. Rockets after their timeout back up on the line at the 36.5, close to the 37. Hobbs will put 5 in the box. And Reese will take that shotgun snap, slot in motion left to right. Reese is going to go option to the right side of the pitch to the 40, 45, and run out of bounds. That will be about a 9-yard pickup. Should be a first down. As carrying at that time for the Rockets, for the Blue Squad, was Hector Salvari. He's going to get 9 on that one.
And that one, you had a good contain on the quarterback. You forced the pitch. But that outside corner had a straight shot on the running back and ran right by him instead of coming up and wrapping him up. You've got to do that. You've got to come put a helmet on him. If you don't get physical in a hurry, this team is going to grind you for 6 yards of carry.
First down now from the 46, the first down for the Rockets. They'll have 2 in the backfield, stacked up, hand off to the tailback. He heads up right side and is plowed under at the line of scrimmage, fell forward for about a yard gain on the progress that time. As stepping in for the Eagles defense to put a blow on him with the helmet was Kenyon Singleton, the linebacker. He had 8 tackles last game against Lovington.
And what I liked about Singleton there, not only was he in the right place, he led with his head. He didn't, stick his head out, but he led with his screws, got his whole body on him, and took him straight down. That was a good textbook tackle.
So they're going to give him 2 on the forward progress that time with a 2nd down and 8. And that'll be at the 48-yard line. That was a 2-yard pickup for Morales, his first carry. 2nd down and 8 now from the 48. Shotgun. Reese is going to run around the left side. Actually, it's Morales who stepped up. He comes across Hobbs Eagles side, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, far sideline, and the touchdown. Morales was not the quarterback, but he did take the snap. I don't see any flags anywhere, and that's going to be a 52-yard touchdown.
No, they got out of bounds, knocked out of bounds at the 3-yard line, maybe the 4.
So let's see where they're going to mark us. Yeah, they'll make it a 51-yarder for Morales. Will be a first down pickup, 2nd first down for the Rockets. Knocking at the Eagles' door, though, at the 4. This might be a barn burner, Coach.
It may be if we don't keep the contain outside like that. The safety came up, and he just ran right inside of the quarterback, allowing him to bounce outside.
First and goal for the 4, a wishbone. The Eagles have some movement coming across the line on the right side defense. And jumping way the heck offside that time. Not even close to being in frame is Gavin Brumley. So he'll get a half the distance penalty, which won't be too much damage. Goes to the 2-yard line. Be a first down and goal from there for the Rockets, who trail 7-0. 9:11 left here in the first quarter. Eagles scored first on their first possession. Back up to the line at the 2. Wishbone once again. Reese underneath the center. Quarterback keeper right up the gut. Takes the wall with him through the goal line. Let's see if he broke the plane or not. Line judge is running down the line. Yes, they do. The left judge calls the touchdown. A 2-yard carry for the quarterback. As he gets across, that's Reese for the first score for the Rockets.
And just like that, we're only 3 minutes into this game, and we already have 2 touchdowns scored.
So 7-6 the score. As we await the PAT, they've had some issues with their kicking game recently as they get ready to set up. And that's going to be David Renteria. Low snap, kick is up, and the kick is just inside the right upright. Good. 9:03 remaining here in the first quarter. Already our first tie, 7-7. Goddard and the Hobbs Eagles live on Cool and YouTube. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
You're clear.
Tiffany, please check, see if my audio is okay on the YouTube.
I'm working on it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Knotted up 7-7 here at the Wool Bowl in Roswell. Tie for in coach Brian Coltrane as Goddard has answered the Eagles off a 2-yard run for the quarterback, Reese. And it's 7 up. As the Goddard Rockets going to kick off for the second time in this first half from the middle X of the 40-yard line. Back deep for the Eagles near the goal line, James Moore. End-over-end kick. It's going to be caught at the 5 by Moore. Goes into the starburst with the handoff. Coming around the right side is Baeza, spinning at the 15, diving forward, and he's down at the 17. So the Eagles, a return of about 15 yards off the starburst. It'll be a first down for them on their second possession. Of course, Coach, great things going on in that first possession. Eagles only had 2 plays for 80 yards and a touchdown.
I think both teams have scouted each other well, and they know what the weaknesses are. The first team that's able to make adjustment and change to the other team's game plan may be the winner here.
So the Eagles will start from their 17-yard line, tied at 7 as they look to the sideline for Coach Stevens in the play call. Graham is in the shotgun. He has Baeza on his right shoulder, trips left receivers, one on the right side. Now Baeza is going to move to that second receiver position right, and they shift another over there, Trevino, for a trips right, twins left. Graham by himself in the backfield, throws the screen to the right flat to the 15, 20, and dumped down at the 21-yard line after a gain of 4 on that far sideline.
It was nice to see a nice little bubble screen out there. He had 2 good blocks. It looks like he kind of ran into his own blocker and kind of went down with the whole thing. But there was a seam there, and that may be a play to come back to.
That's a 4-yard pickup for Caden Trevino. Second down and 6 after a 4-yard reception. Eagles are 2 for 2 in the passing game, 81 yards and a touchdown. Second and 6 now for the 21. Shotgun Graham, handoff up the gut, slanting left now. Back to the middle across the 30, and that should be a first down by 7 yards total that time for the Eagles.
Nice little run play up the middle, and he found only seam that he could. There was a lot of blue jerseys around there, but he got good positive yards on that. Well done.
That was Baeza with 7 again. That's his second 7-yard rush, 14 total for him. First down for the Eagles here on their second drive from the 30-yard line. 8:05 and ticking here in the first quarter. Tied up at 7. Rockets and the Eagles. Twins left, 2 right side receivers, one coming in motion from right to left. And waiting for the shotgun is Graham. Long snap count, 3-step drop, fires the out route to the far sideline. The catch made at the 35. As splitting the first down coverage or yardage needed is coming up with the catch for the Eagles on that far sideline in front of the Hobbs bench, Easton Kirkendall.
And those nice little out routes like that, there's nothing more than like a run play out of a passing formation. It's just a little short pitch and catch. You get 3 or 4 yards, it serves the same purpose.
Eagles now 3 for 3 for 82 yards. Second down and 5 now from the 35. Little reverse coming to the right side, heading to the 40, 45, far sideline, 50, juke step to the 45, and down to the 41-yard line.
I like that. That's out of the gun like that. It's run like the old flex bone offense where your little slot back or H-back kind of comes across. You pull a guard from the opposite side. It's basically a counter play, but you're running it as if you're running something else. It's a nice little dipsy-do. I love it.
23 yards for Trevino. Another first down for the Eagles. Their second. 1st and 10 from the Goddard 41. Shotgun. Delay handoff up the middle, and plowing straight ahead is Royal. Gets to the 35-yard line. That'll be another 5. And actually, that's Baeza. So Royal hasn't even been in there yet. So Baeza picking up the 5. He's got 3 carries now for 19. Second down and 5 for the Eagles. Knocking at the door again at the 36 of the Rockets. Quick hurry-up offense with a pair of receivers left and right. Ready for the shotgun. Graham takes his time on that snap count again. 4 in the front line for the defense for the Rockets. And Stevens going to call out of the play and get an audible out there as they change the play call. Twins left and right, man in motion from right to left. Fake the pitch, handoff up the middle to Baeza, angling right to the 30, 25, trying to cut back, drags a crowd with him to the 21-yard line, and will definitely have a first down and then some. Going to be 15, make it 16 for Baeza.
And the nice thing about that play is the offensive line from Hobbs was getting into the linebackers. You know, they were getting to the second level. That is a good sign so far in the game.
4 carries now for 35 yards for Baeza. Third first down for the Eagles on this drive. Now at the right hash 21-yard line on a 1st and 10. 6:30 left first quarter, tied at 7. Twins left and right. They'll bring a third receiver to the left side. Nobody in the backfield except Graham on the shotgun. Puts another man in motion. Handoff on the reverse going from right to left. Cutting to the left side. Trevino 15, 10, 5. Tripped up at the goal line and stumbles ahead for the touchdown. 21-yard pickup and the TD for the Eagles as he rambles into the end zone.
I think you were right when you said this one's going to be a high-scoring affair. Both teams have shown very little propensity to stop the other. This is going to be a fun night.
21-yard touchdown rush there for Trevino, his first TD of the ball game, and it's now 13-7 with 6:13 left in the first. Taking the delay now as the ball boys running all the way out to the middle of the line of scrimmage to try to find the umpire, and now he's going to the back of the end zone. Not sure what that was all about. We're waiting for the PAT for the Eagles to try to get up by 7. Bad snap. It's fumbled in the backfield. Ball comes down on the knee, and it looks like they're going to get a wrap-up for the Rockets back at the 7 or make it the 15-yard line. So unfortunately, a bobbled snap, and nothing that can be done about that is trying to hold on to it with Ethan Van Landingham. No damage done. Last week, though, we should mention that Goddard ran back a 2-point conversion for 2 points at the other end, but that's allowed in Texas. They were playing at El Paso, Austin.
Yeah, and that was not a good look right there. And we talked about special teams being a key. If this is a high-scoring affair, you got to get every single point you can.
We'll keep it right here with 6:13 remaining in the first. It's 13-7 Eagles, and this is kind of what you expected here, Coach. Kind of a back-and-forth OK Corral shootout.
Well, I have a feeling that we're going to see a very, very big contrast in styles. I mean, we're gapping, for 15, 20 yards, and it's between throwing and passing. But I have a feeling that what will happen with the Goddard runs is probably, instead of getting the 20-yard runs, they're probably going to get 6 or 7. But we got to find a way to keep them to 2 or 3. We have to force them into a third and 5 situation instead of a 3rd and 2. And that's against wishbone teams. That's how you stop them. You have to have something a little bit longer on 3rd down.
So Goddard will send 2 back deep to the 15-yard line. Wait to see if they're going to adjust just a little bit. Back deep for the Rockets, including John Silva, one of their running backs, and Elijah Quiros. He's also a backup QB for the Blue Squad. As we get ready for Baez's kickoff, close to the left hash, a little bit off to the left of the middle X. And he'll keep it on the ground, taking a roll to the 30, scooped up and fumbled for just a second, brought back across the 30, the middle of the field, up to the 35, and still chugging is Adrian Salas, and he's brought down at the 36. So the Eagles cover quickly there to make sure he didn't move it up any more up the middle of the football field. First wrap-up for the Eagles on the coverage was Eric McNabb, the outside linebacker.
We're kicking into the wind, and they have some dangerous returners back there. I think there's a strategy to this. But they are getting good field position off these kickoffs.
The ball boy keeps running the ball out right to the line of scrimmage. The referees just told him they don't want him in that the war range there because he's getting in the way. I could see him telling him, stay on the sideline. Chuck the ball out to us. 1st and 10 now for the Rockets at the 36. They're going to go with the handoff to the tailback. Spins at the line of scrimmage and brought down quickly. He'll be lucky to get back to the line as Eagles pile up on top of him.
And so that makes this play right here one of the most important in this drive. You have a first down where they didn't get any yards, maybe even lost a little bit. You have a 2nd and long situation. You've got to hold them to just 2 or 3 yards on this play. Don't let them grind you for 5 or 6 and have a short first down. You've got to force a 3rd and 7, 8, something like that, where they have to get away from the run.
Liberal spot for Morales, gets 1 yard on the carry. Blake Hensley making the wrap-up for the Eagles. 2nd down and 9 from the 36. Shotgun to Reese, delay handoff. No, he keeps it. Run around the right end. Does the quarterback. Reese at the 40. Puts his head down and gets the 4 yards.
Yeah, he gets 4, and they kind of got lucky there. The receiver on the outside for Goddard got into the back of Armandadis and was pushing him, blocking him in the back. line judge was right there and didn't say anything, but he's not going to get away with that all night.
So Navarro's with the tackle for the Eagles, a 4-yard pickup for the quarterback Reese, 2 carries for 6 yards, including a touchdown. Second down, or make it third down, and about 4.5 from the 42. Goddard still on their side of the field, trailing 13-7 to the Eagles. 4:50 left first quarter. Slot in motion right to left. Going to go with an option to the left side, over to Morales, comes around the left end, 40, stretched it out to the 45, Hobbs Eagles sideline far side, and gets out of bounds at the 49.
And I'm not certain he got the first down there. They're marking it at the 45, and that'll be short of the first down.
Yeah, he stepped out of bounds right across the 45, but the 45.5, so get about 4 yards on it. That's his 4th carry so far for 57 yards.
And I was very impressed with the corner on the far side. I'm not sure who that was over there, but he did a great job of stringing the play out. He didn't come inside and give up the outside corner. I think that was Marcus Palma over there, number 24.
So doing a good job to save that first down. 4th down and about a yard to go for the Rockets. Is this one you want to go for if you're Coach White?
Yeah, of course. You're used to grinding for 2-3 yards. They're probably going to try to get us to jump off sides. They're thinking about it a lot, though. And then what I noticed, the ball's down. How come the clock's not moving here? Why don't we have a play clock moving?
You got out of bounds? Oh, I mean the play. Oh, the field clock.
Yeah, the field clock.
Yeah, now it's going for some reason.
Makes no sense. They waited for the subs to be made, so I'm not sure what happened.
4th down and 1 for the Goddard Rocket 46. Go with the wishbone. Straight up the middle goes Reese, the quarterback. A big pile up at the line. It's going to be a close one here. Depends on the forward push there, whether they give him the momentum or not. He needed to get to the 47. And it looks like it's going to be very close to that. They might have to bring the chains
I think we're going to have to come out there with the chains and figure this one out. They're already signaling first down. I guess that guy's got better eyes than I do.
Give him a yard on the game for Reese. 3rd first down for the Rockets in this game. 7 yards on the ground for Reese on 3 carries, the quarterback. And they'll have it now at the 47-yard line. On a 1st and 10 on the left hash. Back to a wishbone. Reese underneath the center. Pitches to his tailback around the right end. 45-50. Hobbs territory. 45 and down to the 42. Another first down. This time 11 yards for the Rockets.
And they're letting them play as Goddard's got hands all over the jerseys. They're just letting both teams play here, so I think the offensive lines are going to have a big advantage tonight.
Again, that's that Jamin Morales kid. We talked about him in the pregame show. 11 yards on that one. And a total of 69 so far on 5 carries.
And you're going to have to try to make some piles in the middle. You can't just let them go down your throat to get to that second level.
At the Eagle 42, Rocket ball with 4 minutes and ticking here in the first quarter. Hobbs up 13-7. Back to a wishbone. Reese underneath. Pitch it back to the tailback. Morales angling right, 40, 35, right hash, 30. And he's put down at the 36-yard line. Still taking about 3 people to wrap him up. And that's going to be about a 14-yard pickup for Morales. He is the guy they keep going to here, as Reese is doing the short stuff up the middle when they need short yardage, but Morales loves that right corner getting outside.
And, I think the biggest thing I noticed on that one, 3 different people hit him, but they hit him with their hands. They didn't hit him with their helmet. And if you hit him with your hands, you're not going to be able to hold on to that jersey when somebody's moving that fast.
Already 83 yards in rushing for Morales. A 1st and 10 from the Eagle 26. Back to the wishbone. Reese pitching again to Morales. Right side corner. 25. 20 to the near side. He's taken by the helmet and thrown out of bounds. Coach White is high stepping it to the referee. Thought it was a high tackle that time. They're not going to give that call to Coach, but they're going to give him, let me see how many yards. They're going to see where he marked him out here. Don't see a flag on the play. It looks like 8 yards. Argott gets the tackle for the Eagles. So Morales gets 8 on that one. 2nd down and 2 now, as the ball is marked at the 18 of the Eagles on the right hash.
And we're going to have to get some extra people into the box. You can't just let them get to that second level. We're taking on the lead block, and the second lead block's coming. There's nobody there. They're getting into the linebackers at the second level. They're going to get 8 yards a pop.
Yeah, nothing tricky either. Reese stops back into a shotgun, takes the pitch, or takes the snap and runs right to the same spot that Morales was going to, and is brought down at the 16-yard line. Needed to get to the 16 and just barely gets it.
And, I don't get this. This is the second time it happened, and Coach Stevens was livid the first time. It's close, and they're not even measuring. They're just saying go, and from my vantage point where the football was sitting, that wasn't a first down.
2-yard pickup. That will be a first, though, officially from the referee standpoint. 6 first downs. Now for the Rockets, they're at the Eagles 16-yard line. Clock underneath 3 minutes here in the first quarter. Fast-moving quarter. A lot of ground game going on for both teams. 13-7 Hobbs after a missed PAT. Back to the wishbone. Reese underneath the center. Eagles have 4 in the front line. Pitch it left to Morales. Tries to head outside, and he is helicoptered to the ground. Nice pickup by the Hobbs Eagles in that backfield. We'll see if they give him any yardage on that. I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage.
He did, and that's a great job. I'm trying to figure out who it was, the outside linebacker on the far side over there.
That's Andre Alvarado, defensive lineman.
He sloughed off his block and ended up right in the running back's grill. He did a great job on that play.
That's the first negative run for Morales, and of course, that was about the first time he went to the left. All this stuff was coming to the short side of Goddard side of the field, right side.
That's true. That's very true.
2nd down and 12 now with the wishbone at the 18 of the Eagles. Pitch right. Here comes Morales heading outside to the side line, and he gets spun around at the 20 and drilled back. A couple more Hobbs Eagle defenders stepping up. We'll see if they give him back to the line of scrimmage or not.
And Armendariz did a great job coming up from the quarterback position. You saw that the defensive lineman took on the first block. The outside linebacker took on the second block, and that left the corner free to make that tackle, and he come on and put up a hit.
No gain on the play for Morales. 3rd down and 11 as we get to the 1:33 mark here in the first quarter. 13-7 Hobbs. It'll be at the 18-yard line on the right hash as the Rockets break their huddle. Back to the wishbone. Hobbs are going to line up 5 on the line. Reese will hand it off to the tailback, angling right, gets spun around again, and Morales drilled back. He get close to the original line of scrimmage, but not much more than that, so maybe about 2 yards on the gain. But that's going to bring up a 4th down. Goddard is known to try to kick field goals here, Coach.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll see one. They've got the wind at their back at this point.
So 4th down and 11. Actually, they're going to say no gain on the play. I don't know if his knee went down or what, but
and they spun him around. Armendariz came up and made another tackle. They are going for the 3 here.
And they're going to mark the ball. The ball will be put down at the 25, so it'll be a 35-yard field goal from the right hash. High snap, kick is up, and the kick is low. Did it get blocked? It rolls underneath the crossbar there. Stayed on the ground. It looked like it had a quick drop. Somebody might have got a hand on that one.
That thing came out sideways. I think he kind of shanked it, didn't quite get all the foot on it. And it came off that foot sideways.
Coach, can you remember the last game that there was a field goal attempt? It seems like a long, long time.
Yeah, and I think it was last year, and it was us, and it was not much longer than an extra point, and it was to try to take the lead, I want to say, against Lovington.
So kind of a turnover on downs there for the Rockets. They did hit a 42-yarder last week, too, so they do have some distance on the kick game. Not on that one, though. Hobbs back up on the offense at their own 20-yard line as they lead 13-7 with 38 seconds left here in the first. Trips left, receiver right. They're going to send their running back out to the right side receiver core, and along with Trevino, who steps over there. As Graham will be by himself, has a man in motion. The slot back gets the handoff more across the right side, coming around the end, and gets up to the 25 for a gain of 5 on the play coming out of that left slot position.
And, when he hit the outside corner and they realized he was contained, he was really smart. He got up, got north-south as best he could, and just plowed forward and drugged for 5 yards.
They're going to give him even more than that, make it 6 for more. And a 2nd down and 4. Eagles are looking to the sideline. They might get one more playoff here in the first quarter with 18 seconds left. 2nd down and 4 now at the 26, leading by 6. Twins left and right. Graham will take the shotgun, sends his running back to the left side. Trips left now. Graham by himself in the backfield. No step back on that one. Throws a hard shot to the far sideline on a curl. Hits the fingertips of the receiver and sails out of bounds. A hard throw. And now coming up limping after that play for the Eagles receiving core was Easton Kirkendall. I bet you a spike landed on his foot after going up high for that one.
Probably so. And it was one of those things that you throw that ball up that high, you're looking for an interception, because if that tips off those fingertips like that and hangs up there, the defender's coming in to make a hit, and then often lands right in his hands.
So an incomplete pass brings up a 3rd down and 4 now for the Eagles at their own 26. They'll spin three receivers going left, one on the right side, and Graham in the backfield with Baeza. He's going to roll left, looking for the flood routes on the near sideline. Throws it at the buzzer, down to the 50-yard line, and a catch on the out route. Beautiful job there for the Eagles to pull down that one. And that's going to be for about 28 yards on the catch, and give that one to Silas Cerna on the reception.
Actually, it was Ethan Van Landingham, number 12. Yeah, it was a beautiful play. And I tell you what, he strung out that play as long as he could, the quarterback, Colton Graham did, and he just kind of lofted up. He had a nice touch.
And that will end the first quarter as the Eagles pick up their fourth first down of the ball game, lead 13-7 over Goddard. We'll take a 60-second break here on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
You're clear.
Let's just take 30, please.
Okay. Ten. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Roswell. It is 13-7. The Hobbs Eagles are over the Goddard Rockets, and here is Ty Friend.
After the timeout, we'll start this second quarter. You're listening live to Hobbs Eagle football on Cool 95.7 and YouTube. Next week, Coach, will be in Friendship High School and near Lubbock, Texas, for a game against Ryder, a team out of Wichita Falls.
Yeah, Wichita Falls Ryder. They always bring some athletes, that's for sure. They're a pretty good program out of East Texas.
And we will start that game a little bit earlier. We'll get to that later in the program here. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the Goddard Rocket 47-yard line. Man in motion left to right. Go with the tailback handoff on the left hash, breaking a tackle to the 40, and continues ahead close to the first down marker. About a 9-yard pickup that time as Baeza comes out of the pile. He had some words for the official. Maybe somebody got a piece of his face mask on the way down.
No, I don't know what he might have said there. I think that he probably was getting up just kind of cheering for himself. That was a heck of a run. I like how he dragged a couple of the defenders with him.
That's going to be a 2nd down and 1 now from the 48-yard line for the Eagles. Trips right, receiver left. Man in motion is Moore. And he'll slow down and set up on that left end. Trips right, still bad snap. Colton Graham drops it, rolls left to the far sideline and runs out of bounds at the 40. And might even be further back than that. See if they're going to get him back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think so, Coach.
No, I think we lost about 3 or 4 on that play, and now it's going to make it a 3rd and 5 situation.
So Graham will lose 4. Actually, that was his first attempt at a run, but trying to get out of the pocket that time away from the pressure. Be a 3rd down and 5 now for the Eagles at the Goddard Rocket 42. Is a win picking up here at the Wool Bowl in Roswell. All looking to the sideline of the Eagles now to get their play call back up to the line.
They're taking their time here. There's only 10 left on the clock.
Graham back in shotgun. Takes a high snap, hands it by Baeza. No fakes, takes it himself. 40, left side, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and push out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
What I love to see on that side, on the other side, the corner who's responsible for the contain on that side fell so complete for the fake, he ran by the guy with the ball. He actually crossed Colton Graham's face and kept going. All of a sudden went, oh, he has the football.
Graham with a 33-yarder on that one. Stopped at the 9-yard line, so the 5th first down for the Eagles as they continue to head close to that end zone to try to expand their 6-point lead at this point. They did miss the PAT on the last touchdown. Shotgun to Graham has trips right. 2 guys are going to shift. 1 in the backfield now, split formation backfield. Do it the crossing, hand off to the right side up the middle, and it looks like a 4 yards on the pickup there.
I absolutely love the lead block he got there. I'm trying to figure out who that was, but he got a heck of a lead block from the second running back that was in the formation.
That was Baeza that got the carry on that one. Give him make it 3 yards for Baeza. He's had 6 carries so far in this game for 37 yards, so he's over about 5 yards a pop. And we haven't even had a flag in this contest yet, Coach.
You stand corrected.
There it is right there. Legal motion called against the Eagles. It looks like Colton Graham asked for the white cap to come and give an explanation about what happened on that. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. First handkerchief on the ground in this ball game.
And they're trying to figure out where to put the football.
They'll put it at the 14-yard line. Eagles have a 1st and goal from the 14.
I don't know if he's got himself a degree in roughing, but he certainly stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Twins right, receiver left. Waiting for the shotgun is Graham between his 2 running backs. We got movement in the backfield, jumping about 2 feet ahead before the snap. And getting off of the snap count for Hobbs was Ethan Van Landingham. Not really used to being in that backfield and just got off the count a little bit there.
And the far side receiver out there, Looks like that was Silas Cerna. He took about 3 steps into the secondary as well.
So back it up even more now to the 19. It really doesn't matter in terms of first downs because you can't get one. It's got to go in the end zone in 4 tries or you're pretty much giving the ball back to the defense.
Well, you know what? They need to stick with what they're doing. You know, even if it's first and basically goal at the 20, you might as well keep what you're doing because you're getting 8-9 yards a pop.
Graham will go back to the shotgun, has Baez on his right shoulder, trips right. They'll shift one of the receivers to the left side to make it twins over there. And Baez comes to the right for a receiver position. Graham by himself, then send back a man in motion, fake the handoff. Graham tried to take it himself on the keeper up the gut. And it looked like he might have got a little bit low on the leg before he could get it up where he wanted to, so he kind of was bobbling it for a second, but is able to push ahead across the line for a 2-yard pickup.
And the snaps seemed to be an issue. We had 2 bad snaps on offensive plays and a bad snap on an extra point. Needs to get fixed.
Well, they got to give him 1 on that one. He's got 3 carries now for 30 yards, 1 for a 33-yarder earlier. 2nd down and goal from the 18. Graham back to shotgun with the split formation backfield, crossing left to right, heading to the left sideline and getting spun around at the 15. A fumble on the play. Eagles able to recover back at the 19. So dodging a bullet there as Trevino got stripped. The ball went back about 4 yards. He was up near the 15, making the 13-yard line, but it's going to come back even deeper as the fumble went back to the 20. So that ended up will be, a 2-yard loss on that one. Luckily, the Eagles hold possession, but they're still struggling on this series, Coach, and, of course, 2 penalties don't help matters much.
Yeah, now you're 3rd and about,
20.
maybe Dexter.
Yeah, 20 yards, though, officially on the field as they get ready to set back up here. Again, 2 running backs split in the backfield. In between them is Graham. He has the receivers 2 right and 1 left. Low snap, back to pass. He's getting flushed out of the pocket to the right. Being chased on the near side, throws it on the run. In the corner of the end zone and low and hits near the goal line. And looks like the Rocket defender got a piece of that one to knock it down. In fact, that's an offensive player too. That was Jalen Morales, who also plays running back on the offense.
And, that was almost a pick 6 right there. That was scary. It hit him right in the hands, and he could have taken it back.
He did take a nice swat at the football near the sideline to knock it down. But now the Eagles are the 4th and 20. Big decision here for Coach Stevens, and let's see, looks like the kicking unit's going to come out here for the first time this year. Okay,
you asked for field goals, now you're getting them.
The ball's going to be put down at about looks like the 27. That'll be a 37-yard field goal for Baeza attempt here from that left hash.
Dare we fake it?
Yeah, good question on this one. Up by 6, 13-7. It is a fake right into the left side of the 20, 15, 10, and boy, hit hard straight up in the face and knocked to the sideline. Hey, that will be a 12-yard pickup, but they had to get into the end zone on that one and not going to get it, unfortunately. That might have been Van Landingham. He usually takes the snaps on those, and yes, it is. He got hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
Ricocheted right off the hit that time.
I don't mind a fake there, but you got to have something that's toward the end zone. Running it along the sidelines like that, all you did basically was punt the ball 12 yards.
That was Van Landingham for 12 on that one. Just like his number on the jersey, but it will pin Goddard back. That is the good news, back at the 9-yard line. No, you think Goddard's going to go right back to the grind game? They are down by 6 with 9 minutes left, second quarter.
Yeah, they're going to grind it. I mean, they're not going to change what they do.
They get everybody lined up, and ready for the shotgun is Reese. He's going to do the handoff. Now he takes it himself. Took it out of the gut of his running back, Morris. Heads around the left end, 15, 20. Looks like there's a penalty mark unless that's a beanbag back there. Possibly a hold you're getting there, Coach. Back at the 14 when that ball started to extend out to the near sideline.
Yeah, the lead running back come up on Hector Armendariz, the corner, and basically bear hugged him and just kind of carried him about 7-8 yards.
And that is the first penalty of the game for the Rockets for 10 yards. And that will be actually half the distance because it was beneath the 20-yard line. It was a 10-yard penalty. So they will mark it half the distance from the 14. That should go back to the 7. So technically a 7-yard penalty instead of 10.
And they took on one of the initial lead blocks really well. But when he bounced it, we didn't get that rally. The linebackers couldn't rally through the mush and the mold there in the middle of the pile.
So they'll back it up to the 7. And it'll be a first down now and 12 for the Rockets, who trail 13-7 to the Eagles with 8:50 remaining here in the second. Of course, this is a homecoming affair for the Goddard Rockets. They come into this contest at 3-0. The Eagles at 3-1. We got to remember, Coach, this Goddard team did not get to play their first game due to COVID, and Rio Rancho was the game that was canceled.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Missing that one. This is probably their biggest challenge.
They got twins right, and now make it 3 as a man comes in motion. Pitch to the right side of Morales to the 15, and drop to the 14-yard line. Might have slid across for a few more on that one. As he gets from the 12, they're going to say his knee went down at the 16-yard line, a 4-yard pickup for Morales.
That's just the old student body right play. You give it a nice little toss sweep, and as soon as he sees daylight, he cuts up in it and tries to get north-south.
Rockets have yet to attempt a pass in this game. Most of the pitching coming to Morales. He's had a couple of double-digit runs for 51 yards, 11, and 14, just to name a few. 2nd down and 3 now from the 16. Eagles with 5 in the box. Shotgun to Reese. Fakes the handoff. He's going to tuck it and go around the left side of the 20 to the near sideline left. Gets tripped up and falls down at the 25.
And that one's all about angles. You know, Singleton had a beat on him, but instead of getting down the line and coming down the line as soon as he reached the second level, he tried to go right at the quarterback who had the ball. And as he's running outside, you kind of run right behind him, and now you're playing chase. You have got to take the angle to where they're trying to go and not just at him.
Reese now with 5 carries for 18 yards for the Rockets. It was a first down on that one, the 7th first down for Goddard as they move up to their 26-yard line. Again, trailing the Eagles 13-7, 7:20 left here in the first half. 2 in the backfield, staggered. Shotgun loader. Reese stumbles in the backfield, still able to get his momentum across the line and gets across the 30. Late reaction by the Eagles. Nobody getting through the line, and he was kind of bobbling it with his head down a yard behind the line, but he's still able to get ahead for 5 yards. Make it 6. They even give him more than that.
Yeah. And, you know, they eat up a lot of clock when they do this, too. I mean, this is a grind-it kind of offense. But this is the type of offense also, you get up on them by about 3 touchdowns. They can't come back because they take too much time to run their stuff.
Moving back to 5 yards on the carry. 2nd and 5 now from the 31 on the left hash. Receiver left, slot receiver going in motion left to right. Fake the option out. Now at the last second goes to Morales on the pitch to the 35 right hash, and he somersaults for the first down as he's going to get about, looks like they're going to give him 10 yards for Morales. That was a great job of the quarterback, Reese. He was like through the line of scrimmage before he optioned it outside.
He was being wrapped up. He actually was in the grass being wrapped up when he pitched it. And that's a dangerous pitch. You don't want to make that, and I'm sure the coach didn't want him to make that. It turned out to be positive. Sometimes you do something wrong and still happens.
Nobody picked up Morales on that far right side until a little bit too late. 1st and 10 from the 41. Goddard still on their side of the football field. Shotgun. Reese going to roll left. He just wants to tuck it in the bicep to the left hash, 45. Dragging a few white jerseys with him. He'll get about 7 on that one as the big pile up on top. And getting in there first for the Eagles, big wrap-up with the shoulder pads, Andre Alvarado, the defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Going to give him 8 yards, though, on the carry.
Our linemen are getting way too upfield. Our interior linemen, both defensive tackles that are underneath, because we're in an even front with four down linemen right now. Both guys got 3 yards in the backfield before they broke down. You got to break through the line and break down immediately because you're trying to read where the run's going. On a pass play, you want to get upfield, but not on the run.
Argott with the assist on the tackle on that one. 2nd down and 3 from the 48. Rockets still on their side of the football field. Got 2 running backs in the backfield off the offset eye. Back to pass, and no, we're going to tuck it and go. But stumbling and falling across the line of scrimmage is Reese, the quarterback, heading to the near left sideline. And he might have had a knee go down right before the first down marker at the Eagle 49.
Not going to matter either way. We had a guy about 2 yards off sides. Before the ball was even snapped, he just lined up offside.
So they just didn't get the play stopped quick enough there, which does kind of cause some issues. So a 5-yard penalty, that'll be enough for the first down. He needed to get 3. 5 will be a gift. So that will be the 3rd penalty against the Eagles for 15 yards. That'll be first down number 9 for the Rockets. Hobbs and Goddard, again, this has been the first time they've played since 2015, 6 years ago. And that will move the chains now as it takes a few seconds to get that across the far side of the scrimmage.
And, you know, we're switching between an odd and an even front. We'll sometimes come up with a 4-man look, and it'll be a 4-3, and then we're coming up with a 50 look, which is 5 down linemen. In this case, we've got 9 men in the box right now.
1st and 10 from the 47. Direct snap to Reese. Angles left and is brought down at the 45. Tag team combo there for the Eagles on that wrap-up. A couple of guys involved on that one, including, we mentioned just seconds ago, that was Andre Alvarado stepping up for Hobbs. Also coming out of the safety position, James Moore, gain of 2 on the play. So Reese is starting to take a lot of these takes himself instead of pitching out to Morales now.
Yeah, that Reese himself was a big hoss out there too. They got a lot of size on this Goddard team.
13-7 your score. Hobbs up by 6 with 4:20 remaining. Second down and 8 from the 46-yard line. Rockets on the left hash of the Eagles. Direct snap. And that's going to be Reese up the middle of the 40. Puts his head down close to the first down marker. Rockets doing a good job at seeing where their markers are. He needed to get 7 or make it 8. And he might have got 7.5 on that one. Be very close to the first down. Actually, that was a direct snap instead to John Silva. So he needed 8. They're going to mark it close to the 30. Oh, we got a penalty on the Eagles, too. Is that a dead ball foul or on the play itself? Oh, into the play.
I didn't see it.
So 8 yards is going to be given to Silva. That's his second carry for 10. And they're going to call a face mask, a personal foul face mask, so tack on 15 against the Eagles. Now 4 penalties for 30 yards total, and that's a killer there as it puts it at the 22-yard line of the Eagles.
So far, neither team's been able to really stop anybody on offense. Both teams have only stopped one possession each.
And grinding out a lot of that clock, too, of the Rockets. They love the ground game. 1st and 10 now from the 22. Bad snap, having to chase it back where the running back gets tumbled over, and he takes a big spill back of the 35-yard line. Started at the 22, and see where they're going to mark this for sure. It's saved by Morales. They almost gave it back on the fumble there.
Yep. Looks like they put it down at the 32, so that'll make
10 yards.
Yeah, so it looks like 2nd and 20.
So I guess we're going to give that to Morales, a -10. He was the guy that went after it. So a second down, as you mentioned, 20 from the 32 of the Eagles. Still it's 13-7 Hobbs with 3:25 remaining in the half. Underneath the center goes Reese. Wants to do option. Kicks it out to Morales around the right end. Puts on the brakes. Spins at the 32. That's a line of scrimmage, and I think that's all he's going to get on that one as the Eagles react quickly on it.
And that time, they lined up with 3 backs in the backfield, but they also had a double tight end set. Nobody on the outside receiver set. Big power set for them. I'd be scared if they're going to try to throw out of something like that and you bring too many people in the box, they run right by you.
Credit Kenyon Singleton with the wrap up there to stop no gain on the play, so 0 on that one for Morales. And the clock goes down to 2:50, and Goddard not in a lot of a move factor here. They're just letting that clock ground out.
Yeah, but that's what they do. They keep possession of the ball. I wouldn't doubt we'd see a passing play pretty soon from them.
Haven't had one yet here in the first half, and we're 2:40 remaining. Go to underneath the center on the wishbone. Fake the handoff, roll left, just as you said, Coach. The out route thrown behind the receiver at the 19 on the near left sideline, and in and out of the hands of that intended receiver for their first incomplete of the ball game.
That first is a 4th down situation for them, 4th and 20, and there's still 2:31 on the clock. So at this point, they're going to have to try to get that first down. We're going to get another shot at this more than likely.
So Reese throwing behind his receiver that time, who got dug down to the turf trying to come up with it. I believe that was Elijah Romero, so they're 0 for 1 in the passing game. But that's not, they're known for keeping the ball on the ground as much as possible. 4th down from the 32 of the Eagles on the right hash, a 4th and 20. They need to get to the 13-yard line for the first down. And taking a long time in the huddle here, and it looks like now we're going to have a timeout. So Coach White wants to discuss with his troops. Coach Ken Stevens, Coach Willingham talking to the Hobbs Eagle defense. And we'll take a 30-second break. Hobbs up 13-7 over Goddard. Back in half a minute on Cool and YouTube.
You're clear. Ten. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Roswell. It is 13-7. The Hobbs Eagles are up on the Goddard Rockets. And here's the voice of the Hobbs Eagle, Ty Friend.
Well, Coach, we got a big play call here with the 4th and 20. Goddard, kind of their last hurrah here in the first half. If they don't score, Eagles got to run some clock, too, because they don't want to give the ball back to Goddard. But Eagles going to play conservative here and keep a few guys back. What do you do? There's a lot of yards they got to get for a first down.
You got to know where the first down marker is. That's the key. I would be a little bit wary about backing off too much, though, because if they do come with a run play and your guys are way far back, it's hard to make open field tackles like that. So let's see what they do. It looks like a different formation here. They got receivers out there.
Yeah, you said if they run a run play. Looks like you said, now the pass situation. They've got trips right, receiver left, and the train is coming right by the stadium. Shotgun, Reese back to pass on a 3-step drop. He's going to throw in the left flat. Catches, made it to 25, 20, 15, 10, and a first down pickup. That's what they did not want to see. They needed to get 20 yards to the 23. Instead, it's down to the 10. So that's going to be 30 yards on the reception.
Go figure that a running team finally goes into a passing formation, and who do they throw it to? The running back.
Yeah, that's Morales who gets the catch for 30 yards and the first down. That's their 10th first down of the first half. They are controlling the clock, and they're now trying to get themselves a lead here in the second quarter with 2:09 remaining and ticking. Single setback, Morales, double slot look, one receiver right. Left slot goes in motion. Give it up to the tailback up the gut, and he just plows straight ahead on the left hash. Very short yardage on this one.
The dive play has been one that we've actually handled well most of the night.
And the guy with the ball that time is not Morales. That was Josiah Arellano.
And Morales came out after the last play. He was a little shaken up, but it looks like he's returned.
So we've been seeing him get most of the carries in this game. A couple yards for Arellano that time. As a mark it at the 8. They cannot get a first down. It's second and goal from the 8. Clock down to 1:28. Underneath the center goes Reese. Brings a left slot in motion. Going to pitch right. Heading the far right side and getting thrown down from behind on his butt that time at the 4-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play. Clock will continue to run. That time the ball carrier for the Rockets was Hector Salvary. So Salvary now with a couple, or 4 yards. He's got 2 carries for 13. No rush job here for the Rockets. They're standing in that huddle. We're underneath 1 minute with the 3rd and goal from the 4.
Well, they don't want to leave any time on the clock for us. They know that we can eat the clock quickly. Surprised we're not burning timeouts here.
It's going to be 3rd and goal now from the 4. 2 downs to score for the Rockets, who trail by 6. Shotgun to Reese. He's going to head left and cuts back up the middle, sidesteps, and is brought down after a gain of 1, maybe 2 on the forward progress.
That'll bring up a big 4th down play right now. All they need is about 2 yards. Can we get a stop here?
We're going to have a stoppage of action, it looks like. A timeout going to be called on the field here. And we'll keep it right here at the Wool Bowl. Well, actually, we'll take a break. 26 seconds left here in the second. 13-7 Eagles. Big timeout for both coaches to decide how we're going to get this movement of the game coming up here. Take a break, and we'll be back in 30. Welcome back to the Wool Bowl as the Hobbs Eagles playing some tough D here with a 4th and goal from the 2. The Rockets with the football with 26 seconds left before the half. Eagles up by 6, 13-7. Crowd's getting loud here at the Wool Bowl. Rockets want to score to get ahead in this game with the PAT. Single setback. Underneath the centers, Reese brings a slot in motion left to right, a pitch right. And heading up straight through the goal line and the score for the 2-yard TD for the Rockets.
And it looked like we had a chance to hit him in the backfield and just didn't break down.
Man with the football for the Rockets was Hector Salvary. So Salvary with a 2-yard touchdown run. That's his 3rd carry for 15 yards and now 6 points to tie it up at 13.
And this drive started, I believe, with 9 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, they definitely completely controlled the game management, clock management here in the second quarter. And we said that coming into the pregame show too, Coach, that that's what they're known for. I mean, they're going to continue to take advantage of the opportunities they've got, which is on the ground. They're going to go with the wishbone to go for 2 to take a lead. PAT would have been enough, but not enough for them. Pitch it right. Putting the head down, going towards the goal line. Let's see if the official gets it. Yes, they do. 2-point conversion is good. And getting flattened as he came across was Morales, who got back in the ball game. Came out for a few plays, but he does score off the 3-yard run for the 2-point conversion. So that gives the Rockets a 2-point lead. The Eagles have a kickoff return and maybe one play from scrimmage as they trail 15-13 to Goddard. First lead of the game for the Rockets. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Three, two, one, go.
The Goddard Rockets kicking off now to the Eagles. They lead 15-13 over Hobbs. Bouncer to the 10-yard line. Go with the starburst. And the handoff, no, the fake around the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 into Goddard territory, 30. And he continues down to the 25 and run out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So the Eagles go with the starburst and keep the football. Big return for Hobbs.
He was one block away from getting into the end zone, too. They got 7 seconds here. Let's see if we can find a way to put it in.
Trying to double-check who that was there as they did a big scrum pile and they did the starburst. That was Caden Trevino, the return man on that one, about the 18-yard line, coming to the 18 at the other end. So a 64-yard kickoff return, and Eagles have the ball with 6.9 seconds left here in the second quarter, down by 2. Shotgun for Colton Graham, rolls right. He's got 3 receivers on the right side to the near sideline, throws it to the right corner of the end zone. Looks like a push in the back, and the sideline official does not call the flag. Maybe even a little bit of acting by the Eagle receiver on that near sideline. Ball was kind of lofted out there to Caden Trevino, and he's trying to get the flag thrown against Diego Nunez. Might have bumped him from behind, from chest to back that time.
Yeah, I think, there was a little acting job. Yeah, it was probably a penalty. The only thing that I can think of is that maybe it was an uncatchable ball.
Timeout on the field. We'll keep it right here. The Hobbs will have one last shot here with about half a second left, 0.5. So they will get one play out of this one. What's Coach going to be calling here, Coach Stevens, in the huddle right now?
Well, here I am sitting about the 19-yard line. I'd come back with the same kind of play, perhaps roll out, maybe run the back and a little flare out of the backfield to the opposite side of the end zone where you stop and kind of make a throwback play. Something they haven't seen.
You might want to get away from Caden Trevino, too. They've been going to his number quite a bit. I mean, he's a great athlete. He's going to get open wherever he is, but maybe try to get somebody else in there to slip through and, be open for a little pass somewhere. I mean, that's the question. Who are you going to go to?
Maybe a double pass here where you run what looks like a bubble screen, you catch it, and all of a sudden you toss it to the backside.
They have attempted a hook and ladder this season as well earlier, so 0.5 remaining on the clock. It'll be Baez in the backfield, right shoulder of his quarterback, Colton Graham. Twins left and right. Eagles have it 2nd and 10 from the 18. And we got a stoppage again. Back-to-back timeouts for Hobbs as we'll keep it right here. And how important is it for Hobbs to get this lead back down 15-13?
I think it would be absolutely like stunning to Roswell to have this big 9-minute drive erased by about 6 minutes of football or 6 seconds of football. I think that would be just a big swing in momentum.
So what do you do as the Rockets? Hobbs can pass the football. Some great athletes coming out of their backfield, especially too. Pass prevent. What do you do in this case?
And actually, they lined up like they wanted to press and blitz. They brought everybody up, and I think that's why Coach called a timeout there. He probably had something in place where he wanted to take advantage of them playing back. He probably saw that they were pressing up and were about to bring the house, and it probably was going to disrupt everything he did.
I would think that Graham might want to get to the sideline to kind of stretch the defense out and to see if that'll kind of stretch the receivers out in the end zone, too, to give them more options at the last second.
Yeah.
So we're getting everybody back up to the line here with .5 remaining. 2nd down and 10 from the 18. First downs won't matter here. It's going to be an end zone shot in some case. Trips right, 2 receivers left. Shotgun to Graham in the backfield by himself. Takes a good step, 3-step drop. He's going to sail to the left corner of the end zone over the shoulder, but he hits near the back line. Complete a dive attempt at the last second there for the Eagles receiver. I think it was past him before he had a chance to get a handout stretch. Incomplete, out past Ethan Van Landingham near the back line, left corner of the end zone. He lofted it out there, but a little bit too much. So the Eagles will have to trail for the first time in the game at the half. 15-13 to the Goddard Rockets. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with all the stats and discussion about this big game. Live on Cool 95.7 and YouTube. Come back with us in 3.
You're clear. How long did you want?
Welcome back to Roswell. Your score 15-13. Goddard up on your Eagles. And we're looking at the second half action coming up. And hey, we've seen the contrast of styles. You know, we're mixing it up. We're doing a little bit of everything. And, boy, they're just grinding it up right up the middle. It's handoff, old-fashioned wishbone football. And it's interesting to see the two styles clash like this.
Definitely no surprises, though, for the Rockets. And we knew this going in. That's exactly what they order up game after game. They do pass. We saw some pass receptions coming the last couple of weeks against Deming. They hit a couple of passes to Diego Nunez. His name hasn't come up in this game, at least the receiving core. A 28-yarder, 17-yarder for a touchdown against Deming. We also saw last week in that win against El Paso Austin, Javen Morales had a couple 61-yard touchdown reception for one, and some other scores as well. But so they can pass the football, but if you don't need to do it, you still have a 2-point lead, 15-13. Like you said, they pretty much gobbled up the whole second quarter.
Yeah, they did, and that's what they want to do. They want to have the football and not let you have a chance to get your offense going. They want to keep your defense on the field, make you have to make a lot of substitutions, and they've got all these different running backs touching the ball, and they want to just slowly wear you down until you don't have anything left.
Looking at the scoring in this game, first quarter, the Eagles on the board first. A 73-yard touchdown pass from Colton Graham to Caden Trevino. At that point, it was 7-0. Goddard returns the favor, a 2-yard run for their quarterback, Reese, to make it 7-7 at the 9:03 mark of the first quarter. Hobbs gets back up on the scoreboard, a 21-yard run for Caden Trevino, his second touchdown of the ball game. It was 13-7 after a missed PAT. Second quarter, in terms of production, it was only scoring in the game from Goddard, a 2-yard run for Morales, plus the 2-point conversion made it 15-13. So that's a 2-point lead, the only lead of the game for the Rockets, and they got that score with 21 seconds left in this quarter. Like you said, it was complete ball in the pocket of the Rockets in terms of clock management in that second quarter.
Yeah, I would like to see what the actual possession numbers were. I wish we had some sort of a chess clock or something where we could have kept track of that, because I'm pretty sure that they probably have about 80% of the offense in this game as far as time consumed.
Well, let's look at individual numbers. First of all, for the rushing game for Goddard, Morales with 14 carries for 83 yards. He had a 51-yarder, a 14-yarder, and an 11-yarder, plus a 10-yarder. So 4 double-digit runs so far for him. He's definitely their workhorse and is game after game. Also, Reese, the quarterback, went 9 carries for 35 yards. Did not have any double-digit runs, although he did have one for 9 yards. He got quite a few carries coming for him on the keepers in the second quarter. Salvery with 3 carries for 15 yards, a 2-yard touchdown run for him. Also, Silva had a couple of carries for 10 yards, and Arellano came in for 1 carry and 2. So they had 5 different people carry the football for a total of 29 carries and 145 yards just in the first half alone. That tells you they're a ground team, having that much rushing yardage. That's what a lot of teams have just for a final game. Passing department, they're 1 of 2 in that area as well. Reese has thrown the football, and they connected on a catch there for the Rockets to Javen Morales for 30 yards. So they're 1 of 2 for 30 total. And total yardage in the first half, 175 yards for the Goddard Rockets. They've only had 1 penalty for 7 yards, half the distance penalty. Missed a field goal in the game as well, and had 10 first downs. Again, run the clock, but also get those first downs to keep the chains moving and to keep the possession moving along as well.
And they did that quite well. You know, it's right now we've got to figure out a way to get our defense off of the field, whether it's changing our strategy where we're bringing more people in the box, forcing them to go over top and throw against us, or maybe bringing timed blitzes. We got to come up with something. A turnover would be great, but it doesn't seem like Goddard turns the ball over much.
Now for the Hobbs Eagles, they've had 5 carrying the ball in the first half. With the absence of Gianni Royal, who has not been in the game in this contest, also Corbin Thompson out for his 3rd game in a row. The leader at this point in terms of yardage is Caden Trevino. He's got 3 carries and 52 yards in that 21-yard touchdown run, plus a 23-yarder. This kid can get it out of the backfield, but he also can go out for catches when need to.
Yeah, he is one of those multi-use backs. He can do anything that you need. He kind of reminds me of that LaDainian Tomlinson kind of back.
Former Charger.
Yeah, former Charger, former Marlin Bulldog. I could throw mine in there, too, if we're going to go there. He can do a little bit of everything. He's just an all-use back, and that's what he does for the team.
Diego Baeza, too. He's gotten 6 carries in the first half for 47 yards and a 16-yarder for his long so far in the first half. Other double-digit runners, Colton Graham, 3 carries for 30. He had a 33-yard rush going on in this first half. And a couple other guys, Van Landingham rushed for 12 yards on 1 carry, and Moore, coming out of that slot position, had a carry for 6 yards. So far in the first half of action, 14 rushing plays for 140 yards. I think that's something that Coach Stevens wants to see more of, getting more play opportunities on the field and try to get that ball away from Goddard for a few minutes.
And, I don't think we have to concentrate on keeping the possession ourselves. We have to figure out what we can do defensively.
Talking about the passing game now for the Eagles. They've had 5 different receivers making snags, 1 apiece, I should say, though. Van Landingham, 1 for 28. Of course, the big one was Baeza, that 73-yard touchdown reception, putting the 6 on the board for the Eagles to get the game moving along. Moore had a catch for 5 yards. Trevino, 1 for 4. And Kirkendall had a catch for 5 yards. So 5 different receivers with a total of 115 yards in receptions. The quarterback, Colton Graham, 5 of 7 in the passing game so far, and 5 first downs for the Eagles. They've had 4 penalties for 30 yards. That kind of cost them on one of their drives there late in the second.
Yeah, and, I really wish we could have found a way to punch it in at the end after we got a great return. Those are the opportunities in a game like this that makes a big difference. We missed on those opportunities in the first half. Hoping we can get some more in the second half and capitalize.
So there you have it, total in the first half of 255 yards compared to 175. That's about a 75-yard difference over their opponent Goddard right now. But the Eagles trail by 2 at the half, 15-13. We'll take another 3-minute break and come back with more of the Hobbs Eagle halftime show live on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
You're clear. How long did you need?
3 minutes, please.
Okay. Two minutes. One minute. 30. $15.
1 more minute, please.
Okay. 30, 10, 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. It's 15-13. The Goddard Rockets are up on the Eagles. Here's Ty Friend.
Well, Coach, we talked about this throughout the game in terms of, who's going to control the clock, who's going to control the points in this one. We started the game, Hobbs outscoring their opponents 95-27. 3 of those were shutouts, and the first time since 1982 that we've had at least 3 shutouts. They had 6 back in 82, so that's pretty impressive there. But Goddard has shut out their opponents 109-27, so you want to call this a defensive battle here?
I'm not calling this a defensive battle. I didn't see an offense get stopped, really. I think that, it took a while for the offenses to score, mainly because Goddard ate up 9 minutes in the second quarter with 1 drive. For me, I think the biggest thing we're going to see here, and this I'm going to hit on this really big here for the second half, what adjustments are being made. Because right now they're sitting in that locker room, and the coaches have met, and they're talking to the players, and they're both going to come out and do something different defensively to try to stop the other team. They're both happy with their offense right now. Both of them are going to try to figure out how to X and O and chess match somebody and do something different. I bet you we see a whole different second half.
Well, how do you go up against a clock management ground game without just saying, get a turnover? I mean, that's easy to say that, but how do you go against that strategically on the defensive side?
Well, I think the biggest thing is up front you need to make piles. You don't really have to get up the field against them. You need to create piles where you hit the center and you slough off into the gap. You hit the guard, slough off into the gap. And you don't try to get upfield and get them in the backfield. You don't want tackles for losses. I want tackles at the line of scrimmage. I think we've made that mistake a couple of times on the interior defensive linemen. Our outside linebackers, they've been great. They've been staying on the line. They haven't been getting upfield. But on the inside, those guys that can initially make a play on the off-tackle inside guard range on the cutback, they're not there because they go 1-2 steps too far, and now you're chasing. You're trying to come back and make a play, and when you could have just stepped into the gap. And I think that's the biggest adjustment we can make in the second half is make sure that we play more gap football, play a little bit more sound in the interior between the tackles.
Offensively, I think both teams, possibly getting in that red zone, you got to take advantage of those opportunities. You might not get a second chance because, again, especially Hobbs, you don't get in the end zone. Here comes Goddard with that keep that clock moving type of ground game.
Yeah, and I think the first Goddard series right here is going to be really important. If we can get them in a 3-and-out or maybe even preventing the second first down and forcing them to punt, I think that kind of changes the makeup of the game. If Goddard comes down with a long drive in the third quarter, eats up the clock, and takes to the length of the field, that's going to really bode in their advantage.
Does Goddard need to throw the football in the second half? We saw one out of 2 in the passing department for 30 yards and didn't even really attempt any passes other than those 2 there. I mean, everything else is pretty much flip it outside, option or a pitch or, basic stuff. I mean, nothing glamorous out there. Wishbone a few times.
We have to force them to throw. I mean, Goddard's, at this point, they only throw when they have to. And if they have to throw, that means we're doing our job defensively. And we haven't got there yet. They're gashing us for 4 to 7 yards every carry on the ones they're not busting for extra yards. We have got to get that down to 0 to 3 yards a carry. I'm not looking for negatives. I want to keep them with like a play.
How do you break up the wishbone?
For me, I like to play gap football against the wishbone, where instead of sending people up the field, you're just going to basically maintain. You try to win the battle at the line of scrimmage and then just fall into the hole and create a pile. You're not trying to get a helmet-on-helmet tackle on somebody. You're trying to plug a gap and make them bounce, and then you rally to wherever they bounce to. And what we're doing is basically getting up, and then as they're kind of running by, we're trying to reach out and grab them and hold on. And you can't do that against this kind of team. You have got to really find a way to plug the hole and make them have to rally to the outside so that you can get all your bodies on that ball.
A couple other games going on tonight. We had a halftime score coming in a few minutes ago. Denver City leading Lovington 7-0 at halftime. That's a game in Texas, so Wildcats on the road in that one. I know Eunice has got Dexter tonight as well. Don't have a score on that one yet. We'll try to keep track on that one. I know Tatum won big. They were a mercy rule at halftime, wasn't it?
Yeah, 56-0, I believe, is what Alan Scott reported on that one.
And that was a 1 o'clock start this afternoon. They started that one off early.
I do have a score coming in from Carlsbad. Roswell's up on Carlsbad 21-7 at the half.
Boy, I don't see how we were talking about that in the pregame show. Carlsbad is one of those up-and-down teams. They beat Artesia, I think it was 41-6 to start the season. They lost to Goddard, though, in Game 2, 21-7. So it's just like back and forth, up and down. I know they've been dealing with COVID, though. That's one issue. Some of their athletes have been out for different sports, and that has affected them pretty hard.
Yeah, I think a lot of schools are dealing with that right now. That's for sure.
Well, Goddard's on the field with some blue smoke in the air. The Eagles have been out warming up and stretching out just a bit way before that. But we'll take a final 2-minute break. Get ready for the second half. It's Goddard 15, your Hobbs Eagles 13. Stay with us live on Cole 95.7 and YouTube.
You're clear. One minute.
Come back in 30. They're going to start early, I guess. Please.
20 seconds.
Thank you.
Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to the Wool Bowl here in Roswell. Ty Friend and Coach Brian Coltrane. Branson Coltrane with us on camera tonight as the Hobbs Eagles and the Goddard Rockets going head-to-head. Coach, 15-13. Final thoughts as both teams want to start this second half quickly.
Yeah, I think we want to come out here. If I had, my option here, I'm going to play man-to-man on the outside. I'm going to come up and bring everybody into the box, and I am just going to absolutely bring the house and stop the run and force them to have to throw the ball.
So we'll see if that comes to pass. Of course, we mentioned in the pregame show in 2016, the last time these two teams played, and the Eagles with a big win in that one. That was over 300 yards of passing in that contest. Of course, the Eagles 5-6 years ago, a little bit different offensive team, a lot more pass-happy, a lot more balance this year in the pass and run.
Yeah, I like the balance. I think the balance is going to serve us well. We just got to find a way to force a turnover, get the ball back.
Yeah, that game was a final of 46-14. And I'd like to thank Elagio back there giving us an update on that Eunice game that's going on tonight as well. Eunice and Dexter going up head-to-head, 14-7. Eunice leading at the half. So thanks to Elagio for the score update. The new principal at Heiser Middle School there in Hobbs, a former Hobbs High athlete as well. Waiting for the kickoff. Eagles going to be doing that chore to the blue squad, the Goddard Rockets. And the kick is away, end over end from Baeza. Caught at the 15 on the near side, 20, 25, zigzagging through traffic, 30, and down to the 32-yard line. Finally wrapped up by the Eagles. Way too much dancing ability there for the Rockets. And he's finally brought down. That looks like Morales, and he is sprawling on the ground. Looks like he might be holding his left knee, Coach.
Oh, and I didn't mean to laugh at that. I was looking at some extracurricular activity depth the field. I didn't even realize he's a down, so I apologize for laughing there. I did not realize he was hurt.
Yeah, that's their top running back, Jaden Morales. He's grabbing his leg right now, flat on the ground, and they're bringing in the training staff to take care of that. And he got crunched at the last second there. He did a nice job of this zigzagging through traffic on this near sideline and then came up underneath and just holding onto that right leg.
And he's got his helmet off, and I've seen this before many a times. That this does not look good. Yeah.
Just barely into this second half, 8 seconds in, and already an injury. We haven't had any problems with injuries up to this point. It's been kind of a fast-moving game and kind of seems slow because of the Goddard Rockets maintaining the football for so long in that second quarter. But it did run a lot of clock, and we had a few penalties in that first half. Nothing to really get upset about. I mean, there's 4 for the Eagles and just 1 for the Rockets.
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot more penalties happening out there, but the referees are just kind of playing it a little bit more laissez-faire.
Oh, they're helping him up off the field right now. And looks like it is a left leg, whether it be an ankle or knee, not for sure, but definitely not a guy that they can afford to lose at this point. Hopefully didn't get that number wrong. I keep seeing number 2, but it got bunched up at the top. Yep, it is Morales. He's averaging about 3 touchdowns a ball game this season. They're 3-0 on the Rockets.
And he's not able to put any weight on it. They're actually at the point where they just grabbed him and completely carried him off the field. Probably not going to see him return tonight.
That game earlier, thanks to Jason Farmer from the Hobbs Sun, Tatum beat Dulce 68-0. That was a halftime Mercy Rule victory. If you're up by 50 at the half, they had 18 more than 50 in that game earlier.
Wow.
So the Rockets will have the football, pretty decent field position at the 32, but have lost their starting tailback. Coach White is storming out on the field. I don't know what he's upset about. He's going towards the Whitecap and saying, you didn't get ready, give me a chance to be ready with my team. He was helping his player off, and he's claiming they're starting the game back up too quickly. He lost his head on that one.
I don't know why. They had him off the field and marched him completely down. Just because the coach is not there calling a play doesn't mean we have to wait on him.
Yeah, the head coach, right. They had other coaches down there too.
If he wants to check on his player, fine. Somebody else needs to call the play.
Interesting to see who they're going to get most of the carries to. As we mentioned at the half, Morales 14 for 83 yards. He also had a catch for 30. He was the only one to get a reception on 1 of 2 passing for Reese, the quarterback.
And they've got a lot of problems subbing right now. They're going in and out, and they don't know which kind of personnel they want to keep on the field.
In the backfield for them will be a guy that did see some time in the first half, Hector Salvari. Double slot look. Underneath the center is Reese. He's going to pitch to Salvari around the right end, cuts it back up the middle to 35, and continues across to the 37-yard line. So 5 on that carry.
Now that was an old, slot Z look, and basically you bring another tackle over to the one side. It's a very overpowered look to one side. The only thing you ever have coming back is the counter play.
Argott gets the tackle for the Eagles, the linebacker there, after a 5-yard pickup. Salvari is 4 for 20 on the ground game for the Rockets, and he's going to get a lot more carries in this second half than I'm sure he was looking at halftime. 2nd down and 5 from the 35. Last second discussion there from the quarterback to his running back. He's underneath the center. Double slot again. Bring a man in motion right to left. Pitch left to Salvari to the 35. To left hash 40. 45. Got a lot of pulling and driving going on here. That will be enough for the first down. 10-yard pickup. And that'll be a first down.
And like you said with the pulling and the driving, there's a lot of holding going on because it's happening on the interior of the line. They're not calling it. But there's a lot of stretched jerseys on that when we're trying to get off the blocks.
10 yards for Salvari for the first down, the 11th for the Rockets. 30 yards on the ground on 5 carries, so 6 yards on the pickup per play by Salvari. And it'll be a 1st and 10 now from the Rocket 46. 10:45 left here in the third quarter. Eagles down by 2, 15-13 to the Goddard Rockets. Back up to the line, double slot again. Reese underneath the center, Salvari in the backfield. Bring that slot motion right to left. Pitch left. Salvari to the near side. Gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage and falls forward. Maybe a yard if he got lucky on that one.
Yeah, Armendariz actually got a little bit of his shoestring there and pulled it enough to trip him up there. But I think we kind of escaped a little bit on that one. They're seeing something on that overpower look with that slot Z. And they're going to the sweep both ways right now. They're lining up a certain way because I think they see something they like.
Also, teams tend to like to run to their side of the field, too, on the left, especially on this sideline with all the same colored jerseys. It gets kind of the defense kind of muffled there, trying to figure out who's got the ball and whether that's an actual player on the field or not. It's a depth perception issue. 2nd down and 8 now. I actually gave him 2 on that one for Salvari in the last play. Give it to him again. Pitch left. He comes across the 50-yard line, picks up another 2. Kind of a short little burst going on for the Rockets, but it's kind of a bend not break for the Hobbs Eagle defense.
And here we go. Armendariz makes a great play. He steps up. The fullback was coming out on the right after the pitch and trying to kick him. He slides inside the block and makes the play. Armendariz did a great job.
34 yards on the ground now for Salvari. It's 3rd down and make it 6 from the 50-yard line.
This is the big play. If we can hold them at the line of scrimmage and force a punt here, this could change our stars.
They're going to put 5 in the box, bring the slot left in motion, get the handoff to Saveri up the middle. Eagles read it quickly, trying to rip him down by the shoulder pads and finally getting some help there. Tackled by committee that time, and getting in there first to take a piece of that shoulder pad was Andre Alvarado.
And that brings up 4th down and about 6. I think this forces them to punt.
So no gain on that one for Salvare. And that'll be a 4th down situation, as you mentioned. They'll be 4th and 6 from the 50-yard line. I don't think this is really an opportunity here to do that fake punt. You can try it, but you're giving the Eagles some good field position if it doesn't work.
No, they may try to get us to jump. Let's see.
Would not be enough for the first down. They need to get 6 to the 44-yard line of the Eagles at the 50 right now. In punt formation. And getting the good snap and the kick for the Rockets. And this one is going to go, got a whistle.
7 yards.
Yeah, 7
the whistle
yards.
was out of bounds.
Yeah, it went out of bounds.
Not even 7. They're going to say it's 3.
I got stuck on the press box window here. It cut off part of my vision. I had to reach my head around the corner there. And that was Noah Reese, the actual quarterback, was the one that was punting that one. And not a good situation. They probably should have gone for it, Coach.
Yeah, that was a 3-yard punt.
Sorry about that delay as I try to get my crane
You
neck.
look down, you expect to look up and see the punt down on the other end.
I can't see 40 yards on the left here because our press box the way it's set up, so I have to get out of my seat and peek over the edge here. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 47-yard line. They're going to go up the middle with it, 50, 40, 35, 30. Cut in the middle is Graham. He slides through to the 24 for the first down.
And that is a well-designed play right there. You know, you start handing off to the running back. You hand off to the running back. You hand off to the running back. And as soon as you realize that they're committing to that handoff every time and not looking, that's when you keep it yourself and pick up 30.
Graham got 29 officially there. 4 carries for 59 yards. He's got some big rushes in this game, 29 and 33. That is the 6th Eagle first down. Shotgun from the 24. Back to passes Graham. Out route. Low shot. Caught at the 20. Cut back up the middle of the 15. 10. 5 and diving to the 4-yard line.
It looked like Trevino.
Yep, was Trevino for 20 yards on that one. So Trevino picks up the catch. Trevino now with 3 catches for 97 yards. He had a 73-yard touchdown reception in the first half and the 7th first down for the Eagles. They are 6 of 8 in the passing game. 1st and goal from the 4. The handoff coming around the right end is Baeza trying to backpedal for the touchdown. So let's see if he broke the plane. Still waiting for the official, not very quickly to make the call here. I don't think he got it.
They're going to put it down at the inch line.
So just shy of the touchdown that time. That was Van Landingham was out of the backfield that time. So he gets about, looks like to give him 3 on that one. Underneath the center is going to be Graham going straight up the gut, and he tried to get across the plane straight up. They got him. He is good for 6. Count it. Colton Graham with the touchdown.
And just like that, the Hobbs Eagles bang, bang, bang right up the field and score. That is what they needed to do to start the second half.
So the first touchdown in the second half for either team. As the Eagles regain the lead, they had the lead in the first quarter. Goddard recovered it with just 21 seconds left in the second for their first lead of the game. And now 19-15, Eagles lead. They missed a PAT earlier, so I'm not really sure it's going to matter to get the 2-point conversion here as you're still up by 4 points. 5 or 6 would be the difference between a 1 and a 2.
But you want a 6.
Yeah.
A 6 means if they miss their extra point, it's tied.
Right.
Yeah, you want the 6 instead of a 5.
And we mentioned they had some issues. They missed a PAT last week and had 2 field goals blocked. They are going for 2. Colton Graham will get the shotgun from about the 13-yard line on the right side. There's people jumping all over the place. It looks like the Eagles might have been the ones to get off first.
And I think that was one that's on the center because everybody moved except for the center. That's usually a sign that that's the person that was the culprit.
False start Eagles. That is going to be their first penalty of the second half. First half, they had 4 for 30 yards. So that'll back them up to the 8-yard line. 7:09 left here in the third quarter. Eagles up 19-15. Goddard an undefeated 3-0 record. Eagles at 3-1. Trips left, one single receiver right, back to pass Graham into the 3-step drop. Throws it into the corner of the end zone. Diving attempt towards the far sideline, and it's good for the 2-point conversion.
And that was a beautiful throw by
Trevino
Colton.
again.
He led him as far as he could. He put it right on the money.
So Caden Trevino just waiting for a little out route towards that far sideline of the end zone left. And the Eagles pick up that missed PAT from earlier with the 2-point conversion, 21-15 over the Goddard Rockets. 7:09 remaining third quarter. Come back with us live in 30 seconds.
You're clear. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. 21-15, your score. 7:09 on the clock. The Eagles have taken the lead. Here's Ty Friend.
As Hobbs get ready to kick off their second lead of the ball game, going back to the first half, the only lead for Goddard with 21 seconds left in the second quarter. Hobbs will be on the road next Friday night in Wolford, Texas. Friendship High School, the host. Eagles will play Ryder High School from Wichita Falls. Baez is going to kick off from the left hash, sends it end over end, and caught at the 12 on the near side up the 20, 25. Stutter step and dropped at the 26-yard line. A late flag coming in now from the back official. Actually, that was the Whitecap that made the call there. The return man for the Rockets was Elijah Quiros. And we got an illegal block in the back, and it'll be called against the Rockets. That'll be a 10-yard penalty against them. Only their second penalty of the ball game, Coach. Total of 17 yards.
And that was one of those he broke down to make the tackle, and the guy come and plowed him in the back.
So that'll back him up from the 26, should be back to about the 16-yard line. 7:01 remaining here in the third, 21-15. And, Coach, when your team is down, do you keep running the clock as much as Goddard did in the second quarter the first half of the game?
Well, I mean, they're not down by much, and this is still plenty of football left. I mean, it's not like we're 2 minutes left in the game and talking about this. So I think that's an irrelevant question for the situation.
I'm sorry I asked it, I guess. First down and 10 from the 17-yard line. Double slot. The pitch going to be back to the big man that they've been getting it the last few minutes after Morales went out with an injury and heading to the near sideline. Salvare taking a few with him. He plows it out to the near side, about an 8-yard pickup. Actually, correction, that was John Silva that time that had it. And he was pushed toward the sideline by the Eagles' Hector Armendariz, which his name has come up quite a bit tonight.
Yeah, Armendariz has done a great job on the outside. And I think right now, you know, we've got a formula that worked. We stopped him last time. We just need to keep bringing the house and see if we can get him right on the line of scrimmage.
6-yard pickup for Silva. That's his third carry for 16 total. Second down and 4 now from the 23 of the Rockets. They trail the Eagles by 6 on the left hash. 4 in the front for the Eagle D. Pitch right. Silva going to head outside and tries to get out there, but is brought down as he picks up about 3 on the play. Not going to get enough for the first down, though.
But it's just a 3rd and 1, and that's what they're very good at doing. 3rd and 1, it really bodes in their favor.
Eagles had a good shutdown on that left side of the line that time by Andre Alvarado and Gavin Brumley. Of course, you'd love to have Brumley in the area. 6'4", 315 pounds. You don't go through him easily.
No, and he's a perfect player for making a big pile in the middle.
So a 3rd down and 1 situation for the Rockets. More than likely, you're probably going to see Reese going up the middle here. As they send a receiver left, staggered I formation backfield. Reese underneath the center. Yep, quarterback keeper right up the gut, taking the push-ahead block. He gets down to about the 28-yard line. Looks like a 2-yard pickup for the QB, Reese.
And there you have it. They get the yard they need. First down is going to be the biggest key. Every first down, if you can hold them to 0 or 1 yard, that forces them into the situations that we want.
Reese now 10 carries for 37 yards for the Rockets. That's the 12th first down for the Blue Squad. They'll have it at their own 29-yard line. Again, taking their time, getting the plays in, bringing about 2 subs on each one with 5-10 and counting here in the third quarter. Hobbs up 21-15. Eagles working on their 4th win of the season. Goddard would be 4-0 at the win tonight. I formation, receiver right. Reese will go at the handoff to the fullback. He puts his head down hard to the left hash and just battering rams it forward. He's going to get 5 on that one.
Yeah, and that's just the old veer triple option coming to the near side. He decided to give it, didn't decide to keep and pitch.
That's Salvari for 5. That's his 16th or 6th ninth carry of the ball game for 39 yards total. 2nd down and 5 now for the Rockets. They'll place it near the left hash at the 34. Clock continues to run at 4:20. Back to the I formation. Receiver to the right side. Reese pitches right. Heading outside, cutting it back towards the middle to the 40. It'll be enough for the first down. 5 yards, 6 yards. The pile keeps going, and that is Silva to pick up the first.
If it wasn't a turf field, I was going to say this is the old 3 yards in a pile of dust kind of football, but, they're just grinding it. At some point, you have to get that stop on first down.
13 first downs for the Rockets. Silva now 5 and 25 yards so far from the backfield. Of course, they had the injury to Morales, who left a few minutes back. Denver City has defeated Lovington tonight 35-7. A road trip for the Wildcats. Have lost 2 in a row, unfortunately. I formation, another handoff to the fullback, and he just blasts up, but he's not going to get much. Maybe a yard on the forward progress, but they continue to head to that fullback instead of getting some more outside looks to the tailback, Coach.
Well, you've got to do that. Just like we're trying to keep everybody off guard because we're spreading it out. They don't know where they're going to run or pass, etc. The grind it kind of offense does that by working inside out. It's kind of like a major league pitcher. If you throw your pitch the same place every time, eventually somebody's going to knock it for a home run. So you've got to keep them honest, even though that may not be your big play. You've got to have it in your repertoire, or eventually they're going to catch on to what you're doing.
Boy, a liberal spot, too. They give Salvari 2 yards on that one near the 42-yard line. And a 2nd down and 8 for the Rockets. Down to 3 minutes on the clock. They're going to pitch it right. Here comes Savary. Angles to the right side of the 45 to midfield. Trying to pile up over the top to get that last yard he needed. He needed 8. It might have got 7.35 or something like that. He might have got the first down. They haven't really been measuring anything in the first half.
Yeah, I'm not sure that measuring is their strong suit because evidently they're smart enough to just eyeball it before the ball's even put on the ground. You called that a first down before he even put it on the ground. It was right at the yard marker. So I think that maybe he just likes first downs.
I'm going to bite my referee tongue right now. As long as you don't name names, we'll keep it clean here. That's the 14th first down for the Rockets at the 50-yard line. Down to 2:25 on the clock, 21-15 Rockets. Single setback, double slot, right slot in motion. Pitch it left side, cutting up the middle, and getting across the line of scrimmage with just 1, and that's about it. The Eagles able to wrap up low and take him down. As coming across with Salvari, and for the Hobbs Eagles, full speed from the back, Kenyon Singleton, the linebacker.
And that's the first down play we've been looking for. Hold them about 1.5. At this point, you do it again, and you force them into a passing situation.
Still going to give him 2 yards on that one. Boy, they're really giving the full forward progress look here for these running backs.
Well, like you said, they're great at eyeballing it, huh?
So, again, that tackle by Kenyon Singleton, of course, last week with those 8 tackles against Lovington, one of the best on the team in terms of wrapping people up. He's definitely a go-to guy when it comes to your defense. 2nd down and 8 now from the Eagle 48. I formation, pitch left. Salveri heading outside, spins, and is dropped to the 47, a gain of 1 on that one.
And there you go. Now you got your second stop, and that forces them into a 3rd or 6. Now is the opportunity that you have to force him into a punting situation.
That was Silva, though. He gets 1 yard on that one. And Aldo Argett stepping up, the linebacker for the Eagles. So those guys are starting to move ahead and shut down the outsides as best they can. 3rd down and 7 from the Eagle 47-yard line. Again, this clock is almost done here in the 3rd quarter. We're down to 1 minute left. So you can tell this is a ground game. Nothing to be second-guessing. You definitely know Coach White's going to keep this rushing for most of the game. Ready for the shotgun. And heading right up the gut, quarterback keeper, putting his head down and drug down at the 44-yard line is Reese, the quarterback.
And here's an interesting situation. You're now forced in a 4th and 3 or 4th and 4 to make a decision. And whether they punt or go for it, this could be the drive of the game for them because they've not shown that they can stop the Hobbs Eagles offense at all. And if they punt here and we come up the field, now they're down 2 scores. I really think that this is a decision that he's got to make, whether he wants to give us a short field or the long field, maybe go on 2. He's got to do something here because I don't think punting is their best choice.
4th down and 4 from the 44 in Hobbs Eagle territory. They line up with a single receiver right, slot right. We got some movement on the line. The defender coming across hard for the Eagles on the left side. The whistle blew quickly on that one. Actually, it was a timeout call. We dodged a bullet there because well across the line was Gavin Brumley, the defensive tackle on the left end, and you had your hand on your head, and luckily they had a timeout there to save Brumley.
Well, I was just sitting there saying, maybe you go on two here. You try to get him a jump, and first thing I see is him jump off sides, and that's usually when coach starts yelling expletives because in that situation on a 4th and 4, they need 5 yards. Easiest way to get is never run a play. And you got to be very, very disciplined here.
Clock stop with 3.9 seconds left here for the timeout. Hobbs up 21-15. And, of course, Eagles played a team last week that was undefeated, the Lovington Wildcats. They were 3-0 coming to that game, or number 1 in the 4A. They won that one 46-0 and showing pretty good against the number 1 team in the 5A this week, up by 6.
Yeah, we might as well start rolling these number 1s up and putting our own victory march on, so maybe we can look down the road for a good playoff run.
Of course, we'll have a Texas opponent next week on the road right outside of Lubbock. That'll be an earlier start time next week against Ryder High School. We'll play that at Friendship High and Wolford. A 6 o'clock kickoff. 5:45 pregame show on Mountain Time here on Cool 95.7 and YouTube. I'm sure you can hear all that loud PA music right under or above our window here in the press box. 4th down and 4. What kind of play Goddard's going to run quickly, Coach?
I think they're probably going to run the pitch to the outside.
Here we go. They're up on the line. They got a slot right. Stacked offset eye. And another man jumping off for the Hobbs Eagles on that left end, and that's Gavin Brumley back to back. He gets the penalty this time.
And, he's quickly coming off the field. I know Coach is probably not happy with him right now because I bet you in that timeout they just said, don't jump,
Watch the football.
Don't jump,
Watch the football.
Don't jump, and then he turns around and jumps.
That's going to be the 6th penalty for 40 yards against the Eagles, and that'll be a 15th first down for the Rockets. And you said this could be a very important drive, and right now they're only down by 6.
Well, our defense finally forced him to the situation we want, and then we give it back to him, so now we're forced to work again.
1st and 10 from the 39. They're going to be a direct snap in the backfield, and it looked like they were trying to hand the ball off and getting a piece of it the last second, I believe, was John Silva, and he got drugged down near the line of scrimmage as the Eagles slipping through quickly.
And I'm trying to see on these jerseys who that was.
That was 48 that time for the
48.
Eagles.
That was a great play. Seth Rodriguez reached out with the right hand as the running back was going by and said, yo, I got you there, boy. Let's reel you back in.
And threw Silva right to the turf. That will end the third quarter clock. Hobbs holding on to a 6-point lead, 21-15. They did not get the first down, or no, they did not get a first down on that drive, on that play there, but we will be back with the next possession live on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
30, please. 30, please.
You're clear. Ten. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Back here at the Wool Bowl, Ty friend coach Brian Coltrane as the Hobbs Eagles 21-15. Offside penalty cost them giving a first down to the Rockets, and that could be a killer here as the Rockets are trying to get this game tied up and could take the lead on a PAT.
Well, at least we've come back on the first play from scrimmage and got them down right at back line of scrimmage. You force 2nd and long. Let's go ahead and do what we're doing again. Make another play, get another stop, give ourselves another chance to get that ball back.
It'll be Goddard football, 1st and 10, or make it 2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line of the Eagles on the left hash. Go with an I formation. They're staggered off now, waiting for the shotgun is Reese. 3-step drop. Pump fakes, throws it down the middle on the seam route as the receiver open to 5, catches made, and try to throw his body across the goal line, a touchdown. 39 yards on the pass reception on the seam route. Only the 3rd pass of the game thrown by the Rockets. And with the reception for Goddard is Diego Nunez for 39 yards.
And, that's what happens is they get you into thinking, it's a run. As soon as you start seeing those safeties start creeping up like that, yeah, you go over the top.
Nunez had 2 pass receptions back against Deming for some touchdowns and didn't hear much of him in this game. We got a whistle. I look like on the snap, so I don't think this kick is going to be attempted here. It was kicked, but they stopped the play before that. They're pointing off sides on Hobbs. And, Coach, when you're kicking a PAT, moving the ball up closer really doesn't help the offense on it, does it?
Yeah, but then they may go for 2.
Yeah, good point there. That could be a big difference. But any point here is going to take a lead, 1 or 2. So half the distance. That'll go to the 1.5-yard line.
Yeah.
They look like they're still going to kick it. Or they might fire out of it. You never know. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to kick it. Coach is mad that the play clock's already going. He's screaming at the – hey, just because they scream at you, ref, doesn't mean he's right.
So they're going to get the kicker back out there for the Rockets, and that is David Renteria. Also plays wide receiver for the Blue Squad. Boy, Coach White's all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Somebody needs to warn him. He can't be across that line down there.
He's screaming at the line judge there. Now the Rockets are backing off of the line of scrimmage and heading back to a huddle.
How come we haven't started the clock now?
Now
they're not starting the clock at all.
Yeah, the play clock has now just got started down to 21. But I guess they waited and gave Coach White the benefit of the doubt there. He's still having some words from the line judge down near the goal line. And now Coach is at the 20-yard line, so 20 yards of screaming to that zebra. They're up now at the 1.5. They're going to go with the wishbone offense. Reese will go underneath the center. Quarterback keeper puts his head down too early. He might not have enough momentum to get across the pile. Boy, we got some rugby action going on here. Let's see if they stopped him. They got the right line judge calling the touchdown, or about the 2-point conversion. That's Reese on a 1.5-yard run, and he puts it through.
Yeah, just like that. Now you got yourselves a 2-point ball game. It's going to be interesting where we go from here.
And it's 23-21 your score. Goddard leading Hobbs, the second lead for the Rockets in this ball game. We will take a 30-second break and come back live on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
You're cleared. Five, 3, 2, 1,
okay.
go.
Welcome back. 23-21 your score. Goddard leads as we are here in the fourth quarter, 11:51. Here's Ty Friend.
So 8 points put on the scoreboard on that one. A 39-yard pass to Nunez from Reese. On top of that, a 2-point conversion on a run, 1.5 yards after a penalty aid there for Reese. So he gets part of the action going on there. It's a 2-point ball game. Rockets will kick off from the 40, keep it on the ground towards the sideline, scooped up by Hobbs at the 30. It's brought back to the 32, back to the left hash, and it's a 2-yard return. We got a lot of pushing and shoving going on. Both teams better be careful about that. Return man for the Eagles was Ethan Van Landingham. So how important is that 2-point conversion, or we still got so much of a quarter it doesn't matter, Coach?
Well, it depends on what we do here. I mean, if we can eat up the clock and come down and not leave them with enough clock to come down the field, it might be a whole different story. But, yeah, that 2 helped them a lot, but this is a big possession for us.
And, of course, a pass play is what gets them in the lead here. 1st and 10 for the 31. Shotgun, Graham with a flip to the reverse, to the right to left, 35, and slung down for a gain of 3 on the play. Thrown down by the jersey that time for the Eagles, James Moore. And so Moore's going to get 3 on that one.
You know, that was just a nice little counter play coming back. Guard actually did a good job of kicking the end. If he had about another yard of kick, he probably would have gotten through.
They're going to go ahead and get Moore 4 on that when he's got 2 carries for 10 yards, both coming on reverses there. 2nd down and 6, shotgun to Graham, sends a man in motion left to right, trips right, receiver left. Graham with the reverse going left or right side this time from the left slot. And buried in the backfield, not much of a gain there. In fact, he might have lost a couple of yards. He did. Baez's knee went down quickly. So he's going to lose about 2 yards, barely on the forward progress.
And to me, I'm looking at this. I really feel this is, 4-down territory because we know Goddard eats the clock. And I would hate for punt it with a long field knowing they can do a 9-minute drive. I really want to see this try to force through. And
I think Coach Stevens calls the timeout there. Of course, I'm sure he didn't want to burn one this early in the fourth, but like you said, he thinks this is a very important possession here. You don't want to let the momentum get away with Goddard in the lead by 2.
Without a doubt, and I really think that we need to probably pick up 6 to 7 yards on this play just so we have close to a first down. At that point, I would go for it.
Quick 30-second timeout. Eagles down by 2. Come back with us here on the home of the Hobbs Eagles.
You're clear. Ten. 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
We're back after a Hobbs Eagle timeout. They have a 3rd down and 8 from the 35-yard line near the right hash, trailing 23-21 to the Rockets. Colton Graham gets a shotgun, twins left and right, back to pass, dancing around, throws it down the middle, post route, caught at the 50, and that will be a possession catch. Count it. 17-yard pickup for the Eagles and the first down.
I think that was Trevino.
Yes, it was. Caden Trevino there on a beautiful snag. He's got now 5 catches and over 100 yards in receptions. That'll be the 8th first down for the Eagles. 8 of 10 in the passing game. Be at the 49-yard line. Handoff up the gut. No, actually, it's going to be taken by Graham. As Graham will go right up the gut as he faked a little pitch outside right, and he's up the middle. And that's going to be a 5-yard pickup for the quarterback, Colton Graham.
Yeah, and he had that in the belly of Baeza. You know, Baeza would have got about the same yardage. It was a win-win situation. Either one kept it, they were going to do well.
6 carries for 66 yards. 3 sixes in a row there, Coach. So 2nd down and 4 now for Graham and the Eagles at the Goddard 43.5. Graham by himself in the shotgun, back in the backfield. Trips left, receivers 2 to the right, rolls right. He's going to go to the far sideline and continue up the sideline, tiptoeing as he gets some positive yardage out of it. No receivers open. They were covered good on those flood routes on that far right sideline.
I think he got the first down on that.
Yep, he did. He got about 7 on that one, or make it 8 for Graham, as he now has 74 yards on the ground on 7 carries. Make it 6 carries. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Their 9th first down of the ball game at the Goddard 33-yard line. Down to 9:46 remaining. He did get out of bounds, stopping the clock. Eagles down by 2, 23-21. Trips right, receiver left. They'll bring one man in motion to the left side. Another backer will come into the backfield for the Eagles. Shotgun for Graham on the split formation. Fakes right, gives up the middle instead of the 35. There's a flag down to the 25-yard line. I think this one's coming back, though, Coach.
Yeah, and of course they didn't see the hit at the end, the helmet to helmet.
Flag about halfway through the run, and that was Trevino coming down the gut that time. But where the flag came, right across the line of scrimmage and a few yards down from there. Yep, penalty against the Eagles, so Hobbs will pick up a 10-yarder on that one. That's going to be their 7th penalty of the ball game for 50 yards. So that'll back him up behind the original line of scrimmage. See, they're going to mark it about the 48.5-yard line. So near midfield for the Eagles.
As many white jerseys as we've seen held all night, it's funny that that's the first one called.
Clock stop at 9:41 left, 4th. They'll get this thing restarted now. They'll send a couple of receivers, 3 to the left side, 1 to the right. Graham will be by his running back in the backfield. I believe that's Baeza. You'll get the handoff coming left. No, keeper by Graham, right side, 45, 40, 35, and drop to the 32-yard line. Picks up a lot of the penalty yardage. 18 yards for Colton Graham on that one. He continues to be a workhorse here in the 4th quarter.
It's kind of the same kind of poison that they're using on us, we're using on them. They don't know which one's getting the ball coming out.
2nd down and 4 from the 32 now. Trips left, 2 receivers right. Graham back to pass after a 3-step drop. Throws the out route to the first down marker. Needed to get 4 and is very close to that as Trevino makes the catch. See if they're going to give him the first on this one. Actually needed 5. He got 5 on that one exactly. We'll move the chains for the Eagles. 6 catches for Trevino, the 10th first down for the Hobbs Eagles. Quick hurry-up offense going on now for the 22, 1st and 10. Twins left of receiver right, split formation backfield, shotgun for Graham. They're going to pull out of it on the audible. Looking over to Coach Stevens on the sideline. Got Baeza back there and Trevino. Handoff around the right end is Baeza. Stretching out past the right hash down to the 22-yard line. That's going to be a 6-yard pickup for him. So Trevino moving things ahead for the Eagles. It's going to give him 5 on that one. Actually, that was Baeza on the carry. He got 5. Shotgun, delay handoff up the middle, and getting tripped up as he comes across the line of scrimmage was Caden Trevino coming from right to left. And he'll get ahead for a couple more yards for Hobbs. Trevino now with 4 carries for 54 total. He had a 21-yard run for a touchdown back in the first half. And, of course, Trevino with a 73-yard pass reception in the first half for a touchdown. So he's got a pair of 6s so far.
You know, with 8 minutes left on the clock here in the fourth, this is a big place for us to get a touchdown.
3rd down and 4 from the 22. Shotgun for Graham. Fakes the handoff, runs it up the middle himself, zigzagging. He needed to get 4. It looks like he barely got that. Body falling across the first down marker. And they're going to move the chain. So give him 4 exactly for Graham to get the first down for the Eagles. That is their 11th. They can still get another first down. They're currently at the 17. They can get to the 7 for another first. Actually, the 8-yard line. Eagles starting to use the clock to their advantage. 7:40 left here in the fourth. Down by 2, though. Twins right. Trips left for the Eagles. Graham by himself in the backfield. He'll send 1 man in motion. Actually, 2 guys got away with moving that time. Handoff on the reverse left to right around the right end to the far sideline. Looked like a lot of movement, Coach. Double
yeah, they
guys
threw
going.
The flag. Why they didn't stop the play, I don't know.
Oh, the flag did come in there, I guess.
Yeah, it did. But he let the play go, and that should have stopped the play immediately.
They got double motions. Yep, illegal motion called against the Eagles. There'll be a 5-yard penalty, and that has not been a plus for the Eagles. Only 2 penalties called on the Rockets tonight. That's number 8 now on the Eagles.
Yeah, I guess, sometimes people don't make errors, right?
55 yards for the Eagles on those 8 penalties so far. That definitely was one. It was he saw movement from the slot and another receiver that was adjusting his spot.
Yeah, you can't get away with that one. That's pretty obvious right there.
23-yard line. Are the Eagles backed up now, and they got to get to the 8. So about a 15-yard pickup needed for that first, but it's still a first down here. Clock running at 7:20 remaining. Hobbs looking to the sideline now for the play call. Back up to the line of scrimmage. Trips right, receiver left. A lot of adjustments for the Eagles now as they'll send a couple receivers to the left side to make it 3 there. 2 on the right and a man in motion on the right slot. The handoff to Trevino, right to left around the end of the 20. Runs into his own man and is knocked backward behind the 20-yard line. Does pick up some of that penalty yardage. So he will get 4 on the carry, but he hit right into his man. I think the receiver right in front of him trying to block was Evan Ortega, and it was a ricochet action there.
And they got a nice little hit at the end of it on him. He's shaking up just a little bit. You can see he's kind of limping up. But as he was almost on the ground, the second guy came in and plowed him, leading arm first into his head. 4
yards on the play, 2nd down and 13 now from the 19-yard line. Make it the 20. Graham gets a low snap, rolls right. 3 receivers out there on the flood routes to the far sideline. Takes it himself to the 20. And he's getting ahead for about a 2-yard pickup. I don't think that's exactly what he was planning on. The receivers were trying to get out in the patterns on the out routes on that far right sideline. It looked like we might have an injury on the field here, too.
Yeah, got a Goddard player on the far side rolling around. He's grabbing his knee over there.
Right near to the first down marker. That training staff didn't waste any time. We'll take a quick break. 6:12 remaining, fourth quarter. Hobbs trying to knock on the door here. Rockets up 23-21. We'll be back in half a minute live on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
You're clear. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. It is 23-21. Goddard leads by 2. 6:12 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. We have an injury timeout on the field. Here's Ty Friend.
Yeah, still trying to find out who the Goddard Rocket injury is right now. They got a bunch of people out there, about 4 or 5 physical training staff on that far sideline near the Hobbs Eagle bench, and it's one of their big linemen. trying to see the first number. I can see the second. Looks like 87 for the Rockets, who went down pretty hard that time. That's Sterling Panaboof. He's a defensive tackle. And a big kid, too. They're going to definitely miss him on the line. He is a senior. So Hobbs facing a 3rd down and 10. Or make it 11. And the Goddard players are on the sideline trying to get their fans a little bit loud. They have a 2-point lead, but they have been kind of quiet here on a homecoming night. Not a lot of loud reactions until right there. It's big down, 3rd down and 11, as we mentioned, from the 19. Eagles have it on the right hash, trying to punch it in to take a lead once again.
And I think they were trying to get the fans to cheer the injured player coming off the field. I think that was what they were trying to do. They got the guy up, and the fans really didn't react, so the team kind of took care of it themselves. A class act right there, helping out their teammate.
Probably does have a little bit of a double entendre, though, too. We got big play call here for the defense against the Hobbs Eagles, who need to get that score here to take the lead, because Goddard's going to run that clock going here after a few seconds, and they get the ball back, and the Eagles need to have some points up here at this point.
Well, this is the big drive right here.
Trips right, receiver left, far to the near sideline is the receiver by himself. Shotgun for Graham. He's going to send his one running back to the right side for Trips, and now Trips left as well. He's by himself in the backfield. 4-step drop to the 29, dancing around, has a flush coming at him. He's going to get pulled down around the 25-yard line, and they're going to give him a 5-yard loss on that one. He just got the pocket shut down.
And we're going to have to go for it here.
So -4 on that play. That's going to be a 4th down and 15 for the Eagles. So that's going to be at the 24-yard line on the right hash. And the Eagles down by 2, 23-21. If they don't score here, does that mean game over, though, does it?
It doesn't mean game over by no means, but it's going to be one of those things where they can waste a lot of time.
Is this definitely a passing situation here? 4th and 15 from the 24, and we're talking, or excuse me, is it 24? Yeah, 24, 15 yards you need.
Yeah, you need to get that, and I think that's what they're discussing in there. Hey, don't throw the ball short unless he's going to be able to run for the first down. Don't run it yourself. You're not going to get the 15 yards probably from scrambling. You're going to have to find a way to get that ball up past that 9-yard line mark.
And if you have receivers going down 15 yards or in the vicinity, you can't just stay down there. Your quarterback in trouble. You got to come back and help a little bit.
You can go across the field and help too. It doesn't have to be something where you get yourself tackled short. You've got to make the throw past the 9.
4th down and 15 from the 24-yard line. Right hash for the Eagles. Heading in. Twins left and right. Shotgun for Graham at the 30. Waiting for that snap. Gets it. He's going to roll left looking for those 3 receivers. Heads to the near sideline. Throws it on the run towards the sideline stripe. And it's overthrown. Does hit the fingertips of the intended receiver. But falls out of bounds. Incomplete. He would not have had a chance to get that foot in as well. And the intended pass to Evan Ortega on the near sideline, incomplete.
Yeah, at this point, your defense is going to have to do something. You can't let them grind out first downs. I would really say with the way they use time, they probably have 3 first downs to make. If they make 3 first downs where they're taking at least 3 plays each, that's probably going to run out the clock.
That was the first turnover on downs for the Eagles in this game. They haven't even punted yet either, so definitely taking care of the football throughout. Goddard now on the 24-yard line, left hash. 1st and 10 with 5:36 remaining. Eagles going to have to get some people through that line to get that ball coughed up there. No turnovers yet in this ball game. Shotgun. Reese will take it after a fake handoff around the right end. 25-30. Right hash 35. Gets the first down. 11 yards for the quarterback to move the chains. That's 16 first downs for the Goddard Rockets.
And those first downs takes extra time to set up the clock, and
they'll put it at the 35-yard line exactly on the right hash. And, of course, they're taking a lot of time. Boy, they're bringing in 4 subs at a pop here, Coach.
Well, they've already grinded you down. If they've got that many running backs that they can go to, at this point you're tired on defense. You're huffing and puffing, and they're bringing in fresh bodies.
1st and 10 from the 35. Goddard side of the field still. 1 receiver right. Staggered eye formation, fake the handoff again. Reese, he's going to head right on the angle. Looked like that time he was trying to get the ball in the gut of his running back, but I don't know if the guy even knew he was going to get it that time, but he just tucked it and went with it. He's been doing that several times here in the second half. 3-yard pickup for Reese.
Yep, and this is a big play here. They only got a couple of yards. If you can hold them to 0 here, you're forced to 3rd and long. You might get the ball back with another try.
2nd down and 7 now from the 38. Clock to 4:35 remaining here in the fourth, and Goddard holding on to a 2-point lead, 23-21. At halftime, it was Goddard by 2 again, 15-13. They took the lead with 21 seconds left in the second quarter. Second down and 7 from the 38. Reese will get the shotgun, heading left to the 40. There's a flag at the line of scrimmage, about a yard ahead of it, as he'll get to about 3 yards across the 40. And I thought I saw the ref kind of putting his hand up towards his face, hopefully not a face mask. We got a holding penalty against the Rockets, so that'll be a 10-yarder. Only their third penalty of the ball game for 27 yards.
And that was a big one. That forces them way back. At this point, you know, they're going to try to still grind the ball. They're still going to run it, but you're going to have a chance to make a stop.
Got to remember, too, they did get a score to take the lead with a 39-yard touchdown pass to Nunez. Caught the Eagles off guard, a little flat-footed on that one. So, you know, you think they're going to keep running the football. I don't know if they're happy with a 2-point lead at this point, but the clock really not in the Eagles' advantage if Goddard could keep moving the ball and getting these first downs.
If they come over the top with a pass, that's the best-case scenario for us. If we play it right, that's the key, not to make the mistake when they do go to that pass.
It's got to be a very conservative passing game, not to throw it an INT. Second and 15 now from the 30 for the Rockets. Back in shotgun is Reese. Fakes a handoff again, trying to cut up the middle, and has 2 in the backfield for the Eagles to slap him down. He might have got to the line of scrimmage and fell forward just a bit. In there quickly for Hobbs to put a stopping on the quarterback was Kenyon Singleton, the linebacker.
And here's my thing. If you've got timeouts at this point, do we have timeouts left? I'm kind of wondering that.
They say 0 on the scoreboard for both teams. Third down and 13 from the 32. Defensively, you want to get the ball back, 3:27 and ticket. What are you doing on this third down and long?
You're probably going to go over the top again. They've got to get a first down. You know, they can grind off about another minute off the clock if they do run it. If they pass it here and don't complete the pass, then you're going to get it back with about 3 minutes on the clock.
Twins left and right, a whistle before the snap, and it looks like Goddard's going to talk about it. Timeout. Coach White wants to talk to the troops. And we'll take a quick 30-second break. 3:12 remaining here in the fourth. Goddard 23, your Hobbs Eagles 21. Back with us in 60.
Ready. Three, two, one, go.
Welcome back. 23-21 your score. 3:12 on the clock. And here's the big third down play for Goddard.
Third and 13 from the 32 of the Rockets. They lead by 2, 23-21. The Eagles have 4 in the box. Trips left. Receiver right for the Rockets. Shotgun. Reese back to pass. 3-step drop. Steps up in the pocket. Gets away for the rush. Pump fakes. Rolls right. He's going to run it. 35, 40. And knocked down at the 41-yard line. He'll get about 9 on the play. And he'll be short of the first down by a bunch. And a timeout for the Eagles to stop the clock.
So puts 2:59 on the clock here. Fourth down and about 3. Man, what is Goddard going to do?
Boy, I mean, they had one punt, I believe, earlier in this contest. That was about it.
3 yards, yeah.
And it was a short one, right, or 7 or so towards the sideline. But once again, and that gave the Eagles the ball back near midfield, just like we had in this scenario right now. So fourth down and 3 from the 42. Of course, you're the defensive coach, Coach Willingham, for the Hobbs Eagles right now. You're telling your guys to be keep your eye on the football, number one, but you can't be what do you do? I mean, what are you reading at this point? I mean,
what I'm reading is the Goddard coach over there in the face of the line judge screaming at him at the top of his lungs. He is upset about something.
Of course, the defense is going to be waiting to see if they're going to set up in a punt formation first of all, and if not, you know, where are the receivers at? I mean, you got to make sure where they're going to be heading out to. If you put 3 out like they just did a minute ago, You wouldn't expect to see a pass on this one, but you never know with the Goddard Rockets. They want to keep this drive alive, and that first down is a big one here with 2:59 remaining.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even worry about putting somebody back to return a punt if they do decide to punt. I just don't trust the situation. 3 yards can mean your game right now. You've got to defend that 3 yards primarily.
Thanks to Elagio back in Eunice tonight, the Cardinals leading Dexter with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 28-7. So a 21-point lead. It was a pretty close game for quite a bit of that one, but pulling it away in the second half. 4th down and 3 for the Rockets. They have a late sub coming into the ball game. Coming in the backfield was Adrian Salas from the 41. They got a wishbone formation underneath the center. A pitch to the right, coming around the right into the 40. He's going to be dropped unless he gets a surge here. He looks like he gets maybe 1 yard, and that's going to be about it on the near sideline. The ball might be loose, too. We got a big scramble for it on the turf.
The defense came up huge, come up and make the play. And at this point, this breathes life back into the Hobbs Eagles. One score here, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, we take the lead with not much time on the clock.
John Silva gets 1 yard, and big-time wrap-up low by Aldo Argot, the linebacker, to stop the surge. 1 yard pickup, not enough for the first down, and that'll turn it over on downs. The first time tonight for the Rockets, although they have punted before once.
That was a best-case scenario there for us. I had a feeling that they felt like they had to go for it. They didn't want to give us the ball, and they paid for it.
On the left hash, Eagles have it in Goddard territory at the 44. A 1st and 10, trips right, receiver left. Down by 2, shotgun, handoff from right to left, going across the 40, and stretching it ahead to the 38-yard line. And that's going to be about a 6-yard pickup depending on where the knee went down. And that is Baeza. See how many yards they're going to give him on this one.
Yeah, and there's not a need for hurry right here. We got 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Steady offense. You don't have to run a speed offense. We want to burn the clock as we do this.
5-yard pickup for Baeza. He has got 55 yards on 9 carries. 2nd down and 5 from the 39. Shotgun to himself. Graham going to throw the out route. Caught at the 35. Good decision for Coach Stevens. Gets the first down, it appears. Maybe a little short, though, by the shoestring. Gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
And this may be we got a flag on the field. There's something sitting at the 39.
It was Van Landingham that got about the 5-yard catch going out of bounds. Personal foul, low block on the Rockets. That'll be a 15-yard tack on, Coach, and a definite first down.
Oh, my. That is a big-time mistake right there at this point in the game.
Van Landingham with his second catch, 33 yards total. And that will also be a 15-yard penalty against the Rockets for a low block. That's their 3rd penalty here in the second half for 35 yards, 42 overall on 4 penalties for the game.
And guess who's screaming at the refs?
Now, I won't even have to guess on that one. That is a first down for the Eagles, their 12th of the contest. And that'll be the full 15 because they're past the 30-yard line, so they don't have to do half the distance. Coach White is about 15 yards out of the field, and he keeps running at the official and then back it up. Now he's at the line judge ref on the near sideline and jumping and crouching and throwing his fist in the air, running back out on the field, and no flags are flying yet. Hobbs Eagles are in the huddle trying to get their play set up, and Coach White is out there at the left hash mark, Coach.
And he just grabbed the shoulder of the referee trying to get his attention. I don't know, man. I think I'd already tossed him.
Or at least thrown a flag. I mean, at the beginning, you give him a warning with the flag, and then you toss him and he continues on. They're still waiting for the game to continue. The Whitecap having a one-on-one with Coach White and the Rockets, about 15 yards on the field. One of the assistant coaches trying to get his coach off the field because that's going to end up being a problem. And you should not let a coach be out there this long if it's just an interpretation.
No. And you know what? He may be trying to get that 15-yarder, so maybe we score and he gets the ball back with more time on the clock.
This is a long talk. 4 coaches on the other sideline trying to yell instructions to the Hobbs Eagles side. Coach Stevens tasted a TD here, would take the lead with 2:19 remaining. 23-21 Goddard. Coach White still out on the field, has not been escorted off yet. You hear people in the press box screaming for him to get off there, too, so we can get a game moving here.
All I'm thinking is the old Hobbs mantra, sit down, coach.
1st and 10 from the 20. Stacked receivers, 2 on each side. Shotgun to Graham. Fakes a handoff, runs around the right end, 15, 10, 5. Continues towards the goal line, is dropped at the 1. He's going to get 19 on the carry for Graham.
And just like that, the clock is now in our favor.
Wait a second. The Goddard Rockets are pointing the other direction. They're trying to get a fumble signal here.
Yeah, they had already called him down. Now they're trying to fight for the ball on the ground.
Let's see if the refs have not really signaled anything yet. 19-yard pickup for Graham. Let's see if they're going to mark it at the 1. That's where it should be. And that will be a first down. They're 14th of the ball game. It will be at the goal line or the 1. First and goal for the Eagles. Hobbs up by 2 with 2:05 and ticking now. Or down by 2, 23-21. They would take the lead on this play. They bunch of receivers, 2 on the left, right near the line, and 1 slot on the right. Graham has it. He'll go to the right, and he kneels down with 2 knees. He didn't even get across the line of scrimmage.
And I'm wondering if this is by design. Maybe he's not trying to score on this, run the clock down, take away their ability to respond.
Kind of turning the favor like the Goddard Rockets run the clock the whole time. It's time for Coach Stevens to pull out a bag of tricks there.
I don't know. That looked intentional. It's either that or he didn't see anywhere to go and he just went down. But like you said, yeah, he did jump down on 2 knees.
But look here, Coach. Now they're looking at the sideline for the play call as this clock is running. I think you might have a point there.
Yeah.
They're not rushing at all. Doing. Second down and goal now from about the 1.5. They got 2 split in the backfield, 2 receivers left, 1 right, shotgun to Graham. He's going to option to the right side. Baeza going to stretch it out to the 5, towards the pylon, dives, and I think it's a touchdown, ready for the official. He got cleared out. Officials trying to get a signal up on that far sideline.
He did. He signaled a touchdown.
Touchdown for the Eagles. Hobbs takes the lead once again, and that is Baeza for about 1.5 yards. He stretched it out far to the right side, dove his body, numbers over the top of the pylon, and Superman it through.
I tell you what, he got airborne and flew about 3 feet. The defender was in his hip, shoving him toward the out-of-bounds line as hard as he could, and he was able to punch it in.
27-23 your score. They're going to go for 2 here, up by 4. Twins left and right. Colton Graham is moving down the line of scrimmage, and a shotgun back to Baeza. He runs to the 10, tries to throw. His pass is swatted. So Graham was trying to kind of run some interference for his running back there as he stepped up the line to try to act like he was making a play call, and then they did a direct snap back to Baeza, but unfortunately his pass deflected the turf.
Nice little time to try some trickaroo. It unfortunately backfired. So now you're up 4. They've got to score a touchdown, 1:06 on the clock. And, do you kick it deep? Do you squib kick it? I think with their best return man gone, you probably kick it deep here.
Yeah, I should mention, you just brought that up. We mentioned earlier that the running back, Javen Morales, went out with that. Appeared to be either a knee or an ankle injury there earlier in this ball game here in the second half. Last week had an 85-yard punt return for a touchdown against El Paso Austin, a game they won 36-14. Boy, that's a devastating blow to them.
Yeah, and I think that's been a difference maker in the second half. They have 1 less weapon in the backfield for them.
1:06 remaining, though. How does that help a Goddard Rocket team, though? They're a running team with 1:06 left. They've thrown a few passes. They had a 39-yarder for a touchdown earlier.
But the difference is we're ready for the passes now.
Yeah, pass prevent defense better be ready to go here. Hobbs get ready to kick off from the 40, up by 4, their 3rd lead of the ball game. They were up in the first quarter, 13-7. They led the first of the game. They were up 7-0, and then 13-7 in the first as well. Took a lead in the 3rd, and now 1 in the 4th. A very important lead, up 27-23 with 1:06 remaining. Very important kickoff and coverage for the Eagles as we get ready for the kick. Coming from Brian Baeza, keeps it on the ground, a bouncer over the head, and then put down at the 32, to the middle, 35. Near stretch to the 40 on the sideline right. And then a major wrap-up for the Eagles. Boy, and a big committee coming on top of him as well. Boy, talk about a beautiful initial hit there. Coming up underneath the pile. Boy, a blistering slap down there by Zayden McPherson, the linebacker. Completely obliterated that runner, returner, by about a yard return. That's all he got out of that one.
Unfortunately, they have the ball at the 39.
Be a 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Clock to 58.8 remaining. Goddard's got their last hurrah, down by 4, 27-23. Listening live to Cool 95.7 and YouTube. Eagles want to go to 4-1. Goddard wants to go to 4-0. They are undefeated, number 1 in the 5A. 1st and 10 from the 39. Twins left and right. Reese waiting for the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, back to pass. Pump faked, rolls left. The defender's back up from him. He's got a lot of time to throw to the 35. Throws it down the middle of the post route. Ball is caught at the 40, and that will be a first down. 21 yards on the reception for the Rockets.
And there's only about 10 seconds seem to run off the clock there. It's 49.7 on the clock. As soon as they get this thing set, it should start rolling again.
So Nunez with a 21-yarder, 17 first downs for the Rockets at the Eagle 40. Clock to 45. And they spike it down to stop the clock. And looks like maybe the quarterback is limping after that play. Yes, he is. He's got a problem right now as he's trying to walk it off, but he's definitely hunched over and trying to get those legs shook out there. Noah Reese. And the clock will stop with the 2nd down and 10 for the Rockets.
This is the type of situation where, do you want to blitz? Do you try to get some pressure on it with a quarterback that's obviously able to run?
That was only their 3rd reception of the ball game. Reese is 3 of 4 so far for 100 yards.
And they took the quarterback out.
Yeah, he was hurt. I mean, he sprinted off, though. That's kind of weird that they decided to come out.
He asked for the sub. He begged for it.
2nd down and 10 now. They wait for the shotgun, rolling right, new quarterback in the game, and that is Adrian Salas. Rolls to the near side, 40, 35, maybe a design run play there. He got some major speed going, but he gets out of bounds, more importantly, for the Rockets, as he's out close to the 34-yard line. That's going to be 8.
Don't think it was a design run, but I don't think he felt comfortable trying to throw the ball, so he just tucked it and went.
So they're going to give him 6 on that one.
40 seconds on the clock.
He did get out of bounds, which will stop the clock here. Looks like they're kind of confused on who's coming in for the quarterback position now.
And I just saw 21 enter the game again.
Yeah, 21, that's Elijah Romero. Actually, no, number 10's back to quarterback. That's Salas. He's going to roll left. He wants to pass, and he's going to do the pump fake. Rolls left. He's got pressure. Throws the out route in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, and they're going to call the catch. All the Eagles on the sideline said incomplete because he might not have got a foot down, but he did get enough. You don't have to have 2 in high school football.
And the Hobbs coaching staff was in his ear trying to tell him he was out of bounds immediately.
Nunez picks up another 10-yarder. That'll be the 18th first down for the Rockets. No, wait. They're giving him a first or no? Yeah, there you go. They finally switched it up. It had a 4th up there, but they switched the marker to 1. And it's now 34 seconds remaining on the 25 of the Eagles. Quarterback remains to be number 10. He's been their last few plays after an injury. Salas trips right, 2 receivers left. Shotgun. 3-step drops, turns and fires the out route, overthrows his receiver, almost intercepted by the Hobbs Eagles, diving on the turf on the near sideline. Jordan Chisholm almost ready to pick it off.
Now, actually, Hector Armendariz, that corner over there, almost had it.
Yeah, correction, that is Armendariz. He's had some big wrap-ups in this ball game. Incomplete for the Rockets, though. Now it's going to stop the clock at 2nd down and 10 from the 25-yard line on the left hash. Knocking on the door of the Rockets, 31 seconds remaining. Hobbs up by 4, 27-23. Trips right, receiver left, shotgun. It'll be Salas in the backfield with the 1 running back to block. Fake the handoff to him. 2-step drop up in the pocket, throws the out route, way over the throws, but it ricochets, almost caught by another receiver down at the 2-yard line. No defenders back there. That was just by accident that it got tipped, but he dove for the turf there, almost was able to come up with it. That would have been Manuel Binzer with the catch off the deflection.
And that wouldn't have been on the fault of any defensive back that was thrown underneath. They peeled off of their guys, and they were just coming up to make a play. And I don't think they were intentionally trying to deflect it back there at all.
No,
that would have been a disaster.
Yeah, definitely was not. Low ball was flipped up in the air. 3rd down and 10 from the 25. They could get to the 15 for the first down with 26 seconds left. Definitely have to use the out of bounds and try to get the clock stopped if they don't get the touchdown. Back to pass, rolling right. Rolls to the right side. I believe the starting quarterback, Reese, to the 25-20, puts his head down, rams into a couple more. Doesn't look like he's hurt anymore as he just checked back in, the starting quarterback. And he gets about 6 for Reese on the carry. Put his helmet down hard that time, Coach.
Armendariz come up and Aldo Argot as well.
So 4th down for the Rockets. The last play here, unless they can get the first. They need about, looks like 4 yards near the 15-yard line, just shy of the 15. They're on the right hash. Clock is 18.9 seconds. 27-23, Hobbs Eagles. Both teams looking for their 4th win. And the crowd's starting to get spurred up here on the Goddard side. Looks like somebody's going to be calling a timeout. Looks like Coach White wants to talk to the troops. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. 18.9 remaining. Hobbs 27, Goddard 23. Back in half a minute.
You're clear. Five, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back. We've got 18 seconds left to play on the clock in a 4th down and 5 situation. Hobbs up by 4. Here's Ty Friend.
So this is everything you wanted in a big homecoming game for the Hobbs Eagles, trying to spoil one here at the Wool Bowl. Of course, next week the Eagles on the road in Texas to take on a squad out of Wichita Falls, Rider High School. That'll be at Friendship High in Wolford. We'll have that for you at 5:45 pregame, kickoff at 6. But this is the big one right now. 27-23 Hobbs. 18.9 remaining in the 4th. 4th and 4 for the Rockets at the Eagle 20-yard line. Got to get to the 15 and a half. Trips left, receiver right for the Rockets. Shotgun. Reese will fake the option. Runs it up the middle. 15, 10, 5, and it's down at the 4-yard line. He gets 15 on a big run for the quarterback. Eagles got to get tough now. It's going to the wire with 14.7. They're at the 4-yard line on the right hash. 1st and goal. Twins left and right. And we got a timeout on the field.
No, it's not a timeout. He just
he spiked it down. My fault.
Yeah.
No, it is a timeout. Wrong, Coach. It was a timeout.
He doesn't have any timeouts left.
Well, I don't think the scoreboard's right. They called a timeout before, I believe.
No, I think he's called 3 already before this.
Oh, it's Hobbs called the timeout. The referee pointed the blue side and switched it up to the white. Coach White's going, I didn't call no timeout. He wanted the clock to keep running there so they could score and give no time for the Eagles on the kick return.
Oh, my.
So Hobbs calls the timeout. The big guy that went out hurt a few plays back had a solid step up at quarterback. He comes back in and has a blistering 15-yard run for a 1st down. That is their 19th 1st down of the ball game.
Yeah, that's just a bad time to have some poor tackling. We had his arms on him at the line of scrimmage, arms on him 3 yards, arms on him 10 yards before he finally fell. And it actually looked like he hit his own guy and fell down. He wasn't really tackled by one of the Eagles.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to have these game back after 6 years of no contest between the two teams. And really the reason why they had to cut it was because of the district expansion the Eagles went in a few years back where they picked up all those teams out of Las Cruces, and they had to have more of their district games. So it's tough to get everybody you want on the schedule. But not a lot of love lost between these two programs. Coach White used to be an assistant at Hobbs and now picked up the Goddard program, and kind of some vicious games between these two teams. Not dirty, but just tough, hard-nosed football. So right now, big play, 2nd and goal from the 4 after the Hobbs-Eagle defensive timeout. 12.9 seconds remaining, an Eagle 4-pointer.
And if they run the ball here, the clock may run out on them. If they pass the ball here, that's not what they do best.
Shotgun is going to be Reese in the backfield. He has one on his left shoulder, the running back. Trips right. 12.9 remaining for the 4. Shotgun. Reese fakes the handout. Back to pass. Throws it. No, he doesn't. He rolls left. He was going to throw it to the left corner now. Overthrows his receiver at the goal line, and it's incomplete. Boy, he did a nice fake on the first throw to the right. Then he rolled out to the left and chucked it hard. Receiver had to get as high up as he could. Incomplete on the pass, and it kind of shimmied off the middle of the end zone that time. Pass was intended for Elijah Quiros.
And they're in the same situation here. If they run the ball, that's going to end the game. We got to get a stop if they run it. If they pass the ball, they may be able to get 2 plays in, but may just be 1 as well.
3rd down and goal from the 4 on the right hash with 6.5 seconds remaining. And the Hobbs Eagles leading by 4, 27-23. Goddard taking their time in the huddle. Without the clock running, they don't have to worry about that. They want to make sure they get the right play call and everybody on the same page. Eagle defense getting lined up now. They're going to put 5 in the box. Got to get tough and keep it low inside. Pitch to the right side. Going strong towards the end zone. Touchdown. A 4-yard run and a score. As we're checking to see, they had a bunch of backs in the backfield that time. I believe that was number 34 for the Rockets, heading to the right side of the end zone off the run, Hector Salvari. So a 4-yard touchdown run for Salvari. And the clock at 2.5, so I guess it will be time for a kickoff here. No time to run off of the PAT. A 4-yard run for Salvari makes it 29-24 Rockets. Boy, what an exciting ball game here from the Wool Bowl. Not over yet, Coach. We got some guys that can run it back on a kick return.
I don't think they're going to give us the opportunity to do that.
We'll see. And the kick is up and good on the PAT. 30-27 your score.
They're probably going to have a squib kick here. They're probably going to put it on the turf, maybe even an onside kick, something where we don't have an opportunity to try to get a return going.
So 30-27 your score, 2.5 seconds remaining. And again, very critical PAT or special teams here for Coach White and the Rockets. Like you said, they got to place this ball perfectly to make sure we don't get any crazy runbacks. Of course, the Eagles have been showing a little starburst in this game, too, with some misdirection stuff. That could help out the cause. Notice the referees having a big committee meeting at the 5-yard line. They want to make sure they get any blocks. You can't end the game on a block that, especially against the defense.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true there, Ty.
Or the kick team, I should say.
We're probably on the sidelines talking about keeping the ball alive. Because once you have the ball, unless you're down it immediately, you're not going to get to run a play. You're going to have to keep that ball going.
A lot of pitches, and you got to get guys lateral with you, at least a little bit behind you, not forward pitches, but back pitches, just to make sure you don't get that called down on a penalty to end the ball game. So got to be smart. If you got a guy with the ball, you better have some other people around him in case he has to pitch it back. You can't leave him by himself unless he's breaking away for a touchdown.
Yeah, you're now playing rugby.
I wouldn't even be surprised they kick it hard towards the front line because 2.5 seconds, that's going to keep the clock running and a ricochet possibly. They kick it hard on the line. It's going to take a roll. They should just let it roll out of bounds, and it gets tapped out by the Eagles. They didn't really need to touch it, Coach. That would have been pushed up to the 35. It goes out at the 30. By not touching, you would have gained an extra 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, I think that's neither here nor there, having to go 70 or 70 or 65 or 60, 70. It doesn't matter. You have to go the length of the field here. What do you dial up?
Yeah, it was touched there on the near sideline by Easton Kirkendall. Really, he had his knees on the ground already. There's no reason for him to touch that, but, he just got a piece of it. He probably just wanted to get it out of bounds to make sure they had a chance to run a play. No time went off the clock, 2.5 remaining. Eagles are having it at their own 31-yard line on the left hash. A late sub gets on the line for Goddard's defense. Twins left and right, shotgun, back to pass, Colton Graham, 3-step drop, throws it to the right flat, and it's in and out of the hands of the receiver on the 40-yard line, incomplete, and that's the ball game. The Rockets are livid here as they come from behind to get the win on a 4-yard touchdown run just seconds ago from Salvare. What an exciting game from the Wool Bowl. We had several lead changes in this one. Both teams had an opportunity to put the game away. But, both teams putting their bodies on the line in this one, Coach.
Yeah, and you know what? You play these games to win, but if you give yourself a chance to win it at the end like they did, you played your heart out. And those kids left it on the field, and I tell you what, I've seen such an improvement this year over years past. We just keep getting better and better and better. Coach Stevens' squad, I give them kudos for the efforts they had tonight.
30-27, the final score. Goddard pulls off the win here at home for homecoming. 30-27, a 3-point win. They will improve to 4-0 on the season. The Eagles will drop to 3-2. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show live on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
You're clear. Two minutes.
Add a minute, please.
Okay. 1 minute. $30. $15.
One more 30, please.
$30. $15. $5. 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to Roswell at the Wool Bowl. It's 30-27, the final, as Goddard downs your Hobbs Eagles, and that was a very close game tie. I look at this and just amazed at the effort the defense put on. You know, even though they gave up 30, Goddard had the ball most of the game, and that defense was on the field. Those kids, you know that they were probably played more that game on the field defensively than they have ever in their lives. I tell you, to try to hold them at the end like that, that's a difficult task, and fortunately, Goddard comes away with the win.
Yeah, both teams had a lot of yardage, too, and let's get into those numbers right now. First for the Goddard Rockets, in terms of the rushing game, 257 yards on the ground on 54 plays, so they got a lot of opportunities. That sustained drives that we saw in the second quarter, also some time that they ran off in the fourth quarter as well, gave them a lot of opportunities for play calls there. Going down the list, the kid that went out with an injury definitely hurt them towards the end, and kind of waiting to see if he was going to come back, never did. That was Morales, had 14 carries for 83 yards, including a 51-yarder back in the first half, so he was one of their top ball carriers in this one. Also, their quarterback, actually, he comes into number one after the injury. Reese finishes up with 17 carries for 84 yards, had a big 15-yarder late in the ball game in the fourth quarter to help his team inch it towards the end zone. Silva with 8 carries for 27 yards. Salvari, who came in for the duration of the time that their starter Morales went out, he had 13 carries for 55 yards, had the go-ahead touchdown, a 4-yard run to put the game away. Salas came off the bench. The quarterback had 1 carry for 6 yards. And Arellano had a carry for 2 yards. So they had a total of 7 guys rushing the football in this game, 54 carries for 257 yards. They also completed 4 of 8 passes off the arm of Reese. Morales had 1 for 30, and Nunez came in the second half getting all 3 of his catches. He was 3 for 70, including a 39-yard TD reception also in the second half. So 257 in the rushing game, 100 in the passing department for a total of 357 unofficially for the Goddard Rockets. They did have 4 penalties for 42 yards. They also had a total of 19 first downs earned for the Rockets offense. They did miss a field goal in that second half. So those are the numbers there, 357 total yards. And again, 99% of that mostly coming from or I bet say 85% from the rushing game.
Yeah, and they really controlled that side of the ball very well, and they did exactly what their offense was supposed to do, and then some. That is a very potent offense, and it's no wonder they're ranked number 1 in their classification.
Switching over to the Hobbs Eagles side, they went 251 on the ground in this game, 32 carries for the Eagles. Boy, Colton Graham with the big contest in terms of rushing, 13 for 112 yards. Had a 33-yarder in the first half, a 29 and an 18 and a 19 in the second half. So he definitely doing a good job of spotting the secondary, seeing where they were at, and getting ahead for some big yards in this one. Caden Trevino went 5 for 58, including a 21-yard touchdown run in the first half. Also getting double-digit rushing tonight, Baeza with 10 carries for 56 yards. His long was 16 and had a 1-yarder in the second half for a touchdown. Moore had a couple of carries out of the slot position, 2 for 10. And Van Landingham also coming out of the backfield, 2 for 15. Once again, 32 carries for 251 yards tonight, Coach.
Offensively, I think that we did what we were supposed to. You might want a few more longer drives just to eat up more clock and keep them off the field. But we scored, when we needed to. We just unfortunately didn't score, we had to at the end. That one drive at the end of the first half when we had opportunities to put it in, that would have made a difference. And we had one drive we were stopped in the second half where we could have taken the lead earlier in the second half. I think both of those kind of worked against us. But in the end, we had to be able to stop them on defense, and we couldn't do that.
Eagles were 10 of 14 in the passing game coming off Colton Graham's arm. The big numbers coming from Caden Trevino, 6 catches for 127 yards. He had a 73-yard reception for a touchdown in the first half. Also had catches of 20 and 17 in the second half and a PAT conversion, 2 off a catch. So definitely getting his hands out there, taking care of business. In fact, he had a combined yardage tonight of 185 yards, 127 in the air and 58 in the rushing game. So a big one for him, helping out the Eagles' cause. Van Landingham pulled down 2 for 33 yards, including a 28-yarder in the first half. And also Moore with the catch for 5, and Kirkendall came down with 1 for 5. So once again, 10 catches, 170 yards. Add that to the 251. Eagles finishing with 420 yards tonight compared to the Rockets' 357. So Hobbs about 67 or so yards more than their opponent, even though they did lose this game by a close margin. Eagles did have more penalties, 8 for 55 in the contest. Turned over the ball on downs once and had a total of 14 first downs. So some good sustained drives for the Eagles in this one, Coach. And you can't, sneeze at the fact that 420 yards ain't big numbers for the Hobbs Eagle offense.
Oh, no, by no means. And we did it with so many less possessions than they had. Considering they controlled probably 75 to 80% of the clock this game, for our offense to have the numbers they do, it's kind of impressive.
We'll take a final 1-minute break as the Eagles lose this one by a 3-point margin, 30-27 to the Goddard Rockets. 60 seconds, we're back live with the postgame show on Cool 95.7 and YouTube.
You're clear. $30. $15. $5, 3, 2, 1, go.
Final wrap-up here from the Wool Bowl and Roswell. Ty Friend, Coach Brian Coltrane, and Branson Coltrane running the cameras for us tonight as the Eagles lose a hard-fought ball game, 30-27. They dropped to 3-2 on the season. The Rockets improved to 4-0, the number 1 team in the 5A. But the Eagles had this game possibly won, but a nice drive there at the end and a big run by their quarterback, Reese, who came off the bench after going out with an injury late in the fourth quarter, came back there about 3 or 4 plays and had a 15-yarder to get them in range to get in the end zone, and then a 4-yard run to wrap it up for them. Just looking at the scoring for the Eagles, Caden Trevino, a 73-yard pass reception in the first quarter from Colton Graham, a 21-yard run for Trevino in the first quarter as well, so he had 2 touchdowns in that first quarter. Graham had a 1-yard run for a score in the third quarter, along with a 2-point conversion from Trevino. And then Baeza in the fourth quarter, a 1-yard run as the Eagles took a 27-23 lead late in the fourth, Coach.
Yeah, I'm looking at this and just thinking to myself, there's so many different plays we could have had something go differently, and it could have been a different game, but it didn't. I really think that we're going to look forward to next week. We got ourselves a tough one next week in Wichita Falls, Ryder. They're 4-0. They're a good team. They knocked off the Odessa High Broncos tonight. 47-43. And I mean, you have a team that can put up points and play in a pretty tough district. They have Abilene Wiley, who's always a powerhouse in their district. They're used to playing tough games, and coming into that game 4-0. I think we got ourselves somebody to size up and keep in our sights.
You mentioned wins also against Dumas, Frisco, Texas, Midlothian, and that big game you mentioned, Odessa. 90 points scored in that game, as you mentioned, 47-43. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. They've got a big, powerful offense. Ryder's always been known for having athletes. They're one of those Texas schools that they always produce people that go on and play someplace else. So, we've stacked ourselves some good competition up, and we'll learn a lot about ourselves next week.
Of course, it'll be a neutral site over there in Wolford, Texas. Friendship High School, always some very nice facilities to play out there.
Yeah, Wolford is a great place to play, and it's I guess it's supposed to be neutral halfway, but it's only an hour and a half for us. Right. It's like 4 for them, so it kind of works in our advantage. But the time will be different. We'll be starting about 6 o'clock our time at 7 o'clock their time. So you got to keep that in mind, the time difference when traveling for those going to the game and those watching the game. It will be on at a different time next week.
Yeah, definitely check that out with a 5:45 pregame. Let's run down some scores that we have coming in from earlier tonight. Denver City ended up winning big over Lovington. That was in Denver City, 35-7 the final in that one. So Lovington losing 2 in a row, but playing some tough opponents like Hobbs last week and Denver City on the road. And the games that they won 3 in a row at the start of the season, the Wildcats haven't yet to play anybody lower than their division or even at their own level, at least in New Mexico. So that's something that get all these games under your belt. Then when it comes to district, it'll hold maybe a different story in terms of record.
Yeah, absolutely. And you want to play the tough games early, at least kind of a mix between tough games and some that you just need to get your rhythm on. And they've done that. They had the 3 games that they won several of them fairly easy. And now they're playing tougher opponents to get themselves ready for a tough district schedule.
Eunice Cardinals winning a big one tonight, 35-7 over Dexter, a 28-point win there. So the Cardinals continue to get themselves back in contention. I think they're number 1 in their division right now.
Yeah, last time I saw they were ranked number 1 because they were playing tough opponents in their losses. I guess they factored that in. I do have a score coming in. Roswell did knock off Carlsbad. Final score ended up being 21-14. Carlsbad made it a game.
Yeah, boy, that's Roswell. Of course, the Eagles beat them 14-0, and Carlsbad winning over Artesia to start the season 41-6, a team that beat Hobbs. So kind of weird how Carlsbad works some weeks. Also, that game this afternoon, Tatum shutting out Dulce. That was a win at halftime with the mercy rule, 68-0. You only have to have 50-point margin to win at halftime, but they had 68, 18 more than they needed, Coach.
Yeah, they dominated that game. Wasn't close.
And, of course, Jal has a bye this week. No game on their schedule, so they do not have one to report. But that kind of wraps up your Lee County scores. Boy, a heartbreaker tonight, 30-27, as the Eagles losing on the road and playing homecoming here at Goddard here at the Wool Bowl. It was an exciting game from start to finish. A 2-point contest at halftime, 15-13 in favor of Goddard. They actually took the lead kind of similarly in that quarter as they did at the end of the game. But unfortunately, the Eagles could not come back to get the win and only had one opportunity with the kickoff return. Well, they had one more play actually after that, so one last hurrah there. But nothing to hold your head down about. Coach Stevens had this team ready for this Goddard team. So I'd like to thank Tiffany back at the studio, Branson on the camera tonight, myself, Ty friend, Coach Brian Coltrane. We will be back next week, an hour earlier now, 5:45 pregame, and the 6 o'clock kickoff from Wolford, Texas, there at Friendship High School as the Eagles take on Ryder High. And have a great weekend out there. We'll see you next Friday.
You're clear.
Thank you and good night.
Thanks.
Drive safe, guys.